Even Sneako would looked at this and was like, what the
This is how you mitigate in your 20s so that you can become attractive. Now, again, like I said,
It seems like if you want to have kids in the future, in your 30s, then getting a vasectomy in your 20s is a fuck up. You fucked up, now you're going to have kids.
He didn't say
That's not extra careful, that's mental. Cut your dick off, right? And slap it in the freezer, and you can whip it out in 20 years and have it put back on.
How many conservative men, like we run like real conservative men who have strong families, how many of them like, yeah, you know, I had to fuck 25 bitches when I was in college to find the love of my life right now that can take care of my kids.
do I really
switch beliefs that much? I've been talking about Islam for like a year straight. Did you see that
tweeted about it like
I want
7
you to
years ago,
imagine,
right?
8 years ago in 2015?
Imagine a leaf blowing in the wind. Wherever the wind blows, the leaf goes. That is you, my friend.
Okay, what ideologies have I latched onto besides
Bro,
when anti-feminist and I was talking about religion for about a year, and then I find a religion that I agree with and that makes sense to me logically, and then I convert. Where is like people say like, oh, he's always flip-flopping. Where else have I flip-flopped?
if you notice, right?
Quick, specific question.
No, I'm going into this. How did you start coming into the space?
Hardcore
red pill rage.
Yeah.
Then you move from that to what's next? Okay, now I'm enlightened. I'm not as angry anymore. Then you move from that to like, okay, religion. Then religion to like other stuff. I'm just saying.
Well, hold on.
That
To be
seems
fair,
like a pretty
though,
clear
isn't that
trajectory.
Like, yeah, isn't that a natural progression? Yeah, I actually remember you guys saying it. Like he's in his red pill rage right now. Like you go through that and then you go to the next.
That's what we said on the first show
you
here.
can't do red pill rage for like 30 years.
But
right?
at the same time, you're standing on a point so hard that like it looks weird because now it's like, okay, cool. He said this, but now he's saying this. So it looks really, really weird for not standing.
Growth is weird.
No, because you're like, this is how it is. Oh no, tomorrow this is how it is.
But
So-
what have I changed my opinion on specifically? Like people keep saying that. Like what opinions have I changed? I've always said that kids are the most important part of being alive. Always said that.
Always?
I've always said that family is the most important
At
thing.
the very beginning?
Yes. Yes.
I don't remember that part.
I never said any. I can't, like, if you could tell me specifically where I've changed my, of course, like I have a different philosophy for life. I have a more clear set of what I think the world should be governed by, but like, what have I changed my opinion on?
When I met you, you were.
It seems like he is changing his opinion a little. I understand what he means, that he has these like core beliefs, and have they changed? I can't speak to that because I've kind of been following the whole Sneako arc via kind of Destiny's attempts to bluepill him. I've not watched as directly as much of Sneako's stuff, although I think we will be covering it. I'm sure as this stream, not this stream, but the Fuzzy Logic extended universe grows to become a stream with more than 4 viewers. So maybe right. Anyway, so maybe he's changing. Let's carry on.
More focused on kids. You're focused on smashing girls. So I don't know what.
Well, hey, excuse
This
me,
all
but
sounds
you're
like
kids.
growing up. This just sounds like growing
But no
up.
kids were involved in this. Only Plan Bs.
That's what you think.
Yeah, I mean,
No, that's what.
I met you like what I was like 21.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, you grow, you mature.
Wait, has it really been 3 years?
Or I was 22.
22.
I was 22.
Okay, all right.
Either way, I'm just saying it looks like you say one thing, but then a couple months pass and you're like on this way.
Okay, but what have I changed my opinion on? You're not.
It does sound like he's
So
growing
we
up.
brought up the argument about Rollo
Good,
Street, right?
because Sneako's been
Right.
for the
You know
entire
what?
for the entire time I've known him. Sneako's been quite a silly figure, so I'm supportive. I'm supportive of this growing up. This is good.
First and then get into this.
Yeah. Look,
I'll come back to you.
Y'all niggas fucking up the show. I'm trying to get into something.
Okay.
I wanted to cover the Trump thing. Then you guys could go ahead and argue. All right.
I got
The
you.
Anonymous Podcast. How is Sneako a trad con when his girlfriend Kuro is on OF selling for $99?
When did I say that?
I don't know
That was
who
my
Kuro is,
girlfriend.
but-
Who the fuck? I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Damn, she just got
Zena the
disowned.
Witch, some heart emoji. Shout out to you, Zena. And then we got here. How do you define a 3 or 4? All I think is when she sleeps with a guy and without feeling emotional attachment. All girls are 3 or 4s until proven otherwise. Okay, Soulfist goes Destiny. I only have just over 2K subs. We'll love to interview. Could that be possible? That's from Soulfist. Mo. And then I don't know.
Would you ever
I
collab
guess-
with somebody on that level?
He does.
Yeah,
he debates
usually if you say something really dumb, I usually scream at you and then I'm like, let's argue about it. That's
All right.
usually how it
Silky Silk goes. Shout out Destiny's wife's boyfriend.
goes. Nice.
This nigga, bro.
Mo,
That's Mo. What the fuck you doing, man?
jerking off.
What the fuck? This nigga, man.
Nice little stuff.
Who is the blue hair soy bucket? Okay, fantastic. And that's from Ross.
Bro, you're lacking, Mo.
And
Fashion Fit will really read out every
Wondering if the panel
nutter that
would
comes
discuss
on.
ethics of bringing a child into the world with exes. existential threats to humanity like artificial general intelligence, climate change.
What a
nuclear
retarded
war.
point.
Thank you,
What
fellas.
a retarded liberal point. This is what all like the wokies say. Like, what about climate change? What is that? Why is that a valid reason to not have children? Retard psyop. That's exactly what the globalist agenda is. They want you to believe in this garbage. What about veganism? That has nothing to do with having kids. If you want to go fight the globalist agenda,
So yeah, by the look of it, he's not giving up on the insane conspiracies. But you know what? A grown-up person with some like unusual beliefs, I'm much more supportive of that than I am of him going around behaving like a silly child. He can have his silly beliefs, but it seems like, you know,
have 10 kids on a farm, homeschool them, make them strong and autistic and schizo, and then give them training lessons, give them some guns, make them really smart, make them outside. Don't let them use their phones. Don't let them on TikTok. And then you could be able to fight back. I don't understand.
Isn't that the most red pill advice, though? Don't you want to have 0 kids? Because every time you have a kid, women are going to use that in the the family courts against you to steal all your money or whatever.
Well, I
10
mean,
kids, that's like 10 women or 1 woman that could get you for 10 child support payments. Maybe that guy's actually more red pill than everybody here.
what is the argument you're making now?
Don't have kids because women will child support get you.
Well, if
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
the
a prenuptial
red pill,
agreement
yeah.
and you have certain things in place, you can mitigate the.
Does a
the
prenup
risk.
protect you from child support?
No, that won't. That
Exactly.
won't. But then you fight to get the custody of the children.
Listen, we live in a hunter-gatherer society. We live in a hunter-gatherer society. Men are out here.
wait, what? You fight to get custody of the children. Hey, I'm not paying for this kid, so he should come and live with me. Come live with me. I'm going to send him to private school because I don't want to pay for him. It's like saying, you know what? Having kids is too expensive. I want to make sure he's going to an expensive school. What? Having a kid's too expensive. I'm sending him to boarding school. Like, yeah, that's going to cost a lot more money. It's like, no, I don't want to pay child support. Have him live with me because if he lives with you, he's free. No cost.
Okay, hunting and gathering, and women are just at home collecting resources. And by resources, I mean alimony and child support. So
This is true. This is true.
Be
But
careful.
you could try to. This is why you try to get
Mitigate
custody of the
risk
children if you
much
can.
as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex Peralta, when John Zerk again on pod, I heard he destroyed Destiny in the debate. Never heard of that.
Hey, rest up and prayers for John Zerka. I heard that he's sick right now.
no, he fucking lied.
He's trolling?
Fuck him. Yeah.
He's trolling?
Yes, he fucking trolled about having leukemia. Okay.
God.
Wow.
Damn, bro. Why would you do that?
That's not funny,
Because
Joe.
it's John
That's crazy.
Zerka.
I had a whole moment on my stream. I'm like, pray for what
He
the
fucking
fuck?
plays sad Naruto music in the background while he's talking about it. You really being
That
serious?
seems so genuine. If you watch it, you would believe it. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay. Destiny, your wife and Fresh's DMs. You don't want to worry, Fresh. I will take care of her professionally
Jesus.
for a reasonable
These
price, of
birds
course,
get
and give
obsessed
her
with
the
Destiny's
right of her life
wife.
respectfully.
Bro,
Okay,
come on,
Fresh is
man.
done.
Come on, bro.
I mean, he
And
put,
then-
respectfully, he
here.
put respectfully at the end, so we're good.
Bro, Destiny, what is with the hair? Is a woman magnet?
Is it a woman magnet, basically?
Oh.
Yeah, for crazy chicks.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the first topic. So we're about 20 minutes in, guys. So first and foremost, we got 15K y'all watching. Do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow Destiny on YouTube. Also follow Sneako on Rumble, rumble.com/Sneako. And then if you just search
I've got to
Destiny
get
on
into the
YouTube, you're going
Rumble
to see it
scene.
right away.
Actually, follow Destiny on Rumble. Forget his YouTube.
Oh, you got Rumble too, right?
Fuck Rumble, YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Instagram. Your
Follow
Instagram sucks.
Instagram.
My
Okay.
listen, that's where all the girls are, okay?
Okay. And then
You think girls watch this?
No,
So, apparently.
look at this page.
that's a whole other thing.
For Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Full talk.
Okay. Full Weed Talk goes, just show support. Appreciate that. Mr. Medina goes, Destiny, you look very feminine from outside. In your opinion, what are your top 3 masculine traits? Yeah, man.
No, I want to know, actually. Yeah, what are your top 3 masculine traits?
My top 3 masculine
Yeah,
traits. I have a functional dick, so no, that's it. Let's see, I scream at people a lot. Is that masculine now, or did that become feminine for
fine.
debating and shit?
That's emotional, yeah. feminine.
Okay. I hate women. Does that count as masculine?
What?
Old me would have said W, but no, that's not
Yeah,
masculine.
we don't hate women over here.
Sorry.
We love women.
Damn, I don't know.
Okay.
I got a lot of money.
There you go,
bam.
there you go.
That's my 3 top traits. There
City
you go.
Boy Farmer goes, RP without empathy is morality is empty. Tradcon without RP is naivety. And then Alhamdulillah, W Sneako W's. I'm shout out to my friend.
Alhamdulillah means
Oh
what that
shit.
means?
That means praise God.
Your boy's here.
Roll Tomasi. Shout out to Roll Tomasi in the fucking house.
Bro, why are you in the chat, bro? Like, he's always in the chat. What else?
Hey, chill, he's probably doing his hair right now.
Bro,
Okay?
he's our homie, man. Destiny just
It's not just your stream. Like, I see him at every show I go on. Just dudes like, are you always online?
He'll be here next week.
Are you serious, bro?
He'll be here
Value
next
Entertainment. Yeah, Pearl show, everything.
Would you debate Rolo?
Of course I would.
He would body you.
Okay.
He would body you.
All right.
Just
Sure.
As long as his
Let's
wife
do
lets
it.
him do it, you know?
Bro.
Bro.
Destiny just sends his week. OF girls to debate me because he's too scared to come to Vegas. It's
Ooh.
across table for me. Offer's been open since November.
Damn.
If he wants to debate me on somebody else's podcast, that's fine. But I'm not going to go and like dig this guy
He'll
up
be
like
here next
fucking
week.
Lazarus from the underworld and try to resurrect his fucking career. That's not my job.
Ah!
Okay, I'll be
Oh,
here
we
too.
should do a
if he
round
wants to.
table.
Okay, round table.
If he wants to, yeah.
And he should debate your ass.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I don't want him to get the Debatacron though, and end up getting sick and not able to show up if I'm here. So.
Obviously, I'm down
That's
at the
fine.
top, so we'll debate
We'll
anyone.
moderate it if y'all want to do it.
John,
Yeah,
one of the viewers watches.
Sneako Shang Tsung, he transformed into liberal last panel so he could get ready for the Destiny debate.
Okay, so am I liberal or a sneak-on? Is it conservative or liberal? So anything that's not red pill is like, yeah, you're not one of us, bro. They're calling me conservative and you're donating $100 to call me liberal. I don't understand. Like, does anyone have a clear ideology that isn't exactly lined up?
Well, no,
with...
it makes sense. Like you're conservative because now you become sneak on, but you're liberal because you change your mind all the fucking time.
What if I change my mind like on some liberal point of view? And what if I even change my mind on? Tell me.
I'm just shit on your
Shang
videos.
Tsung.
Wait, what?
Asinine goes, how's Florida with them hard works gone? Do you think it's going to affect Florida? Hard works gone? I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, thank you, Asinine.
Mr. McNasty.
$50
Ask Destiny why you
to
won't
ask that
debate Ryan Dawson.
He said he would.
Yeah, at some point, dude. I started listening to some shit on Ukraine. Holy fuck, this guy is like every single thing reported in the media he says is fake. So I have to dig through.
Because your only argument is source.
Yeah, and his argument is they lie. Actually, the Bucha massacre, that was all Ukrainians killing themselves. All the missiles, that was all Ukrainians blowing
It
themselves.
sounds so easy to debate him then.
I didn't say it was easy. It's a lot of fucking work.
Source.
Because this guy will have some fucking well, in this newspaper published in 1998, they said they were going to bomb
Ryan
Israel.
Dawson's sharp though, man. Like he's probably one of the smartest geopolitical commentators that I've talked to ever.
Did you debate him back in the day?
Yeah,
That's how I thought about him.
years ago.
2015. Yeah.
Hillary Clinton.
Bro, he's banned on MySpace. He was the OG cancel person on every single crypto exchange.
Ryan
Banks.
Dawson's really smart, man. I haven't ever supposed to Sneako Destiny in the same podcast, but can this podcast handle the
I can't
tension of Destiny
comment.
and Satan? Is we're both on?
Oh, sounds like a silly
There's
view.
no way he would agree to it, but that would be really funny.
He would do it.
Oh, okay. He wants to, yeah, for sure.
He would do it.
Maybe his dead man can sell some more fake merch while I'm here.
Oh god. Okay, so I guess we could go ahead and pull up what y'all were talking about before.
Yes.
So let's pull up Rollo's tweet real quick because this has been a point of contention
With
in
Sneako.
a lot of things. We got it right there. So this was a tweet, right? It goes, and this was from what, a week ago? About
a week ago.
So the quickest path to becoming a high value man. Number one, don't get married, avoid family creation, vasectomy in your 20s, live consistently, eliminate all sedations, learn game and networking, play to your strengths, build wealth, resist easing up on your focus. And it's the quickest path to becoming a high value man. And I know that
Ridiculous. Like some of these, like you could extrapolate something sensible. Play to your strength, build wealth. That's good. Resist easing up on focus. Sure. Like, don't get married is stupid. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy in your 20s. Like, this is just. This was the tweet I said at the beginning that actually spurred that. Even Sneako looked at this and went, "No, this is insane. This is mad." Even Sneako looked at this and was like, "What the?"
Sneako had some point of contention, specifically with number 3, which is get a vasectomy in your 20s.
Can I just ask, why did he need 8 points? Did he get contracted to write all 8 of these? Because I see some duplications. So number 2, avoid family creation. Number 3, vasectomy in your 20s. Couldn't that be collapsed into one point? Did he need 8? Did he feel stupid with 6 or 7? Or
Okay, I mean,
I'm just curious.
I think he's clarifying it out. It's just 8 things. I mean, he could have said put them together, I guess.
The best person to ask question to is Rollo directly.
That's true.
So we'll do it next week probably.
I hope so, yeah.
But this list is concise because once again, he's just saying in general, fastest way to get to that point.
Yeah.
What is high value man?
I think he means what he means in this context is being a guy that's desirable to women and being attractive to women, so that you'll be I guess a marketable sexual partner.
Well, but that doesn't make sense, right? Like avoid family creation and get a vasectomy
That's what
and
women
be
want.
attracted to men.
Well, no. It's because
women, right?
again,
Yeah. Also, the term high value man, they seem to think is this objective term. Firstly, I think, at least if it goes for relationships, I don't think most women would think that either fresh or fit were high value men. Because I think most people value a proper relationship with being respected. Whether you're traditional, whether you're modern, I think most people want a relationship where it's a partnership, it's a friendship, it's it's about romance, trust, love, something you build with someone. It's not really about having a guy who wants to cheat on you all the time, who doesn't respect women. Even most conservative women will tell you, well, no, I expect my husband to respect women, but that respect will be in a socially conservative package. But even ignoring all of that, a high value man is subjective. What one woman thinks is a high value is of a high value to her is going to be different to somebody else. My fiance, I'm pretty sure, thinks I'm a high value man to her, but there's dozens of women who would look at me and be like, "No, I'm not taking that weird nerd. That's ridiculous." Right? I'm a lot. I can be a lot. So, what is value? There's some women who a lot of guys think are high value, and then I'm like, nah. And then there's a lot of women I think are really attractive that other guys are like, well, I don't know. So that sentence made no sense, and I apologize for it. But either way, right? You know what I mean, right? There are some. Right, it's a completely subjective term. You can't just become a high value to all women. You are now a high value man, right? Unless you become world famous, in which case, yeah, at least most people would probably want to bang you just because you can say you banged a film star.
like I said it before, I'll say it again because you're here. So he gave the instructions to retard proof it, right? Because when you give advice, typically you have to, appeal to the lowest common denominator. So like, there's guys out there, right, that could have been, I'm being honest here. There's guys out there that, might could have played basketball back in the day, maybe football, whatever, and their career got smashed because they got a girl pregnant and they couldn't pursue what they want to do because they had to be a dad early. True. So what he's saying is, okay, this is how you mitigate risk so you could become a higher status guy. We're going to eliminate all the things that could fuck you up. Now, I want to make this very clear for some of y'all because some of you guys don't understand. I'm not saying I advocate for vasectomies or whatever. I don't have one. I've never gotten one. But what I am saying is that given the context of what he's tweeting for this specific situation, it makes sense because he's saying, hey, these are the ways so that you don't fuck yourself up to ensure that you're going to be successful. He's retard proofing it.
But that is a pretty retarded advice because you're saying do this so that you become more attractive to women. So what's even the point of having a relationship with a woman if you can't have kids with her? Then you're just having an empty relationship just to fuck her for your whole life. And
no, he's saying to become high value, which means you make the choice. Do you want to do?
To be fair, like plenty of people don't want kids. I mean, I think like a woman's purpose in a relationship isn't just like to produce children for you; it's to build a life together. I haven't yet decided if I want kids. But yeah, sorry, I heard shouting in the background. I thought it was at me. Anyway, so I haven't decided if I want kids yet, but just being in love and building a relationship is, in and of itself, extremely rewarding. So I don't think you have to have kids. Like a relationship is meaningless without unless you're having children.
Do that or not. So he's giving you the choice to do that, but once it becomes
Myron just said that it's to become high value, to become attractive to a woman.
Yeah, that's what you choose.
I feel like we're 2 months away from tweets of like, give your bro like the key to your fucking cock chastity cage to make sure you guys are fucking around without permission. Like I feel like we're. Don't you guys tweet all the time about how like women are fucking disgusting that are freezing their eggs at like 20 and they're never gonna find. Yes. Now you've got like guys that go to sperm clinics. Like here you go. I'm never gonna be able to impregnate my wife because like a 30% reversal rate on this fucking surgery. But maybe in the future I
we
can
laugh
check
at
my
girls who want to freeze their eggs
semen.
all the time.
Yeah, like, it's like the same
but
shit.
Notice, right? He has 2 points.
Like a 90% reversal rate.
Yeah, actually.
Well, depending on how quick it is. Wait, for vasectomies?
Yeah, to get it reversed and be able to actually
After like 10 years, it's like 30 to 50%.
Yeah,
your 20s is 10 years.
You're supposed to reverse it back within the 10
Wait,
years.
hold on, wait. So you're gonna
20s is
get
10 years.
vasectomy at like you're gonna get a vasectomy at 20, become high value by 23, and then get it reversed. Like what?
I mean, I'm gonna say 23. You're being extreme.
Well, he said your 20s. That's 10 years.
Yeah, but you can do it. But when you're 28, 29,
So 9 years. What is it? 45% chance of reversal? Bro, you're not gonna have kids anymore.
You're sterilizing half your audience. That's all.
Hold on. No, he had 2 points there. He said, 1, avoid what?
That's possibly for the best.
3, vasectomy 20s. You can choose what you want to do. Apply what you need to apply. He's just saying you can do either or.
Okay,
no, he's not.
I'm worried that Rello's kids are gonna have any customers to host to. Okay,
here's the thing you guys are confusing it with. He's giving that advice. Those things are to mitigate fuck ups.
Yeah.
So that you get on your path to becoming higher status. That's to mitigate fuck ups. It's not about this is so you can fucking have a bunch of kids and have a family. That's not the advice. The advice is this is how you mitigate fuck ups in your 20s so that you can become attractive. Now, again, like I
It
said,
seems like if you want to have kids in the future, in your 30s, then getting a vasectomy in your 20s is a fuck up. You fucked up. Now you're gonna have kids. So that is a fuck up, right? If you want kids, and you're like, I really want kids, but not too soon. I'm gonna wait until my 30s or whatever. So I'm gonna have a vasectomy. Okay, well you kind of just fucked up as hard as if you'd had a kid in your 20s because now you can't ever have kids. So you also don't get what you want. Like the way these guys think is quite strange.
before. Am I telling guys go out there and get a vasectomy? No.
No.
But he's giving these points because if you follow those things, it's gonna be very difficult for you to fuck your life up.
Here's a question on that list.
Yeah, go
He's got 2 things, okay, about your dick, okay, about avoid family creation, get a vasectomy. Is there anything on that list about like just avoid women,
But
avoid
hold on.
temptation?
Hold on. We know as men, we want women no matter what. Whether we want to abstain or be more, it doesn't matter. However, question for you guys on the panel. If you had a kid, be honest here, would you be where you're at right now?
Destiny had a kid at his early
Advocate,
20s.
yeah.
No. Well, oh, you did?
Yeah, he had a kid at his early 20s.
Okay.
He's very successful.
But I mean, no, it was a lot of difficulty, of course. Yeah.
But be honest though, your kid is amazing, I bet. But at the same time, it did hold you back a little bit.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
Sneako, for you, would you be in the same spot? Honestly,
If I had a kid at what age are you talking about?
earlier than like 20.
I mean,
No, you wouldn't be. That's the point.
yeah, who knows where I would have been? My life it would have been a completely different life.
The point is you might not even be here. I'm just trying to say he's saying mitigate risk and say, you know what? Avoid.
Well, I
kids.
might not be on the Fresh and Fit podcast right now, but I would have been successful in different realms, and maybe I would have taken a different path.
Also, why not just like use protection?
You probably wouldn't have gone through all the red pill stuff. Like, you know what? Maybe he'd actually be like a super like stand-up guy now that hadn't gone through all the red pill nonsense. If he'd had a kid, maybe he would have stepped up. So who knows? I want to be clear. I don't advise having kids early. I think it's best to wait. I think it's best to wait until you're in a good place in your life. I think it's best to wait until you're with someone you love and want to spend the rest of your life with. I mean, everybody who has kids seems to think it's the most rewarding thing in the world. So it just seems silly to say no. Your whole life, like his whole life, would have been ruined. Like your whole life won't be ruined. Like
Yeah,
if
see,
you
okay.
if you're Sneako and you're making money and you're doing
But that's a
what
good
he's
point.
doing.
And he said avoid what? Found creation, which means he's a condom too.
No, it doesn't. It says get a vasectomy. That was the advice. Stop trying to. You're coping.
Number three. Number two says avoid what?
So
Creation.
is it like this is like the list of 8 things to be successful? Pick 5.
That's the list.
Listen,
This is like a build your own lunchbox at Taco Bell. Like I thought you follow all the points.
Pick
on the list.
5, but ignore the vasectomy one because
high
that's
value, which means, for example, mitigate risk. That's all he's saying. Here.
Hold on. Okay, but here's the point that I completely disagree with.
I mean,
And
in
I'm
the
not,
context under what he's talking
This
about,
is like the Bible.
This is a whole other level.
I'm not.
We're taking it literally.
This is
That's
not.
Yeah. This is getting like biblically, like when you speak to religious people, and you go, well, no, you see, yes, it says in the Bible, but what God really meant, the true meaning, and they start reading in all of this extra stuff that isn't there, but they just like read into it. And like this seems to be the same thing. Here's 8 rules how to become a high value man. No, but you see, what he's trying to say, the true meaning, you see, of the words is it's figurative, it's allegorical. It's supposed to signify a high, yes, the path to, don't take risks is really what he's saying. It doesn't really mean have a vasectomy per se. He means simply don't take the risk of getting pregnant. Yes. like some kind of like liberal preacher.
Yeah, which you should take it literally if this is the godfather of the red pill, right? You guys all give this guy so much credit. I don't really
He's
know much
written
about
like 5 books, supposedly,
the
right?
hypocritical part about it is that we make fun of girls all the time for not controlling their sexual urges and being hoes all the time. Like, she belongs to the streets, all this stuff. You tell guys that they're losers if they don't go to the gym. They're losers if they play video games. You're a loser if you smoke weed. You're a loser if you watch sports. You need to exercise discipline. But when it comes to girls, oh shit, get a vasectomy because you can't control yourself, because you're not capable of exercising discipline. Why do you have to be disciplined in every single aspect of life? Networking, success, all this stuff, watching sports, playing video games.
True.
You need to be on your stuff. But for women, nut inside girls after getting a transgender surgery. That's the one thing you can't be disciplined in.
Sneako, can you stop fucking girls?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not the cap.
Hold it to it right now. Don't fuck until you get married.
Well, hold on. He didn't even say don't have sex, although Sneako's probably has some conservative views or something. But he didn't say don't have sex. He said don't like jizz inside someone and get them pregnant. So, I mean, that's not the same thing. He didn't say, oh, no, be celibate. He said don't use protection. You can use protection. You can use protection. There is like all kinds of birth control.
Oh,
No.
better advice.
You just said you can hold it. So don't fuck until you get married.
Better advice is-
No. I swear to God.
What,
Right
you're
now.
saying no.
Are you cool with that? Handshake.
Well, no, wait.
This is
Here's a real question. Here's a real question. Hold on. Has Sneako fucked a girl before?
Yes.
Has he had a vasectomy?
No.
Does he have any kids?
No.
He's been
Boom, there you go. He's able to do it. He's able to do
He
it.
plan B. So he would have had a kid, which means he's gonna fuck up at some point.
Hey,
We're
listen,
good.
and they still
We're
sell,
mad.
they still sell Plan B.
No, but the point is,
That is the point. He's able to fuck girls, not have a vasectomy, and still not have kids. It's
what
possible.
did number 2 say? Avoid family creation. It could be condom or plan B. They just say to be extra
Another form
careful.
of contraception is what it is, basically.
But he didn't say
That's
that.
that's not extra careful. That's mental. You want to be extra careful, cut your fucking dick off then. Like if you want to be extra sad, like, oh, just be careful then. No, literally, that's almost the level of advice. Obviously, I'm not saying it's the same. It's literally like saying, chop your dick off, right? And slap it in the freezer, and you can whip it out in 20 years and have it put back on. Like, that's literally the level. You just put it back on later. They can reattach it if it gets cut off, so, you might as well do that. Why not do that?
And that's not a good form of contraception because it's not supposed to be reversed. That's what the doctor tells you when you get a vasectomy surgery. It's like, you cannot expect this to be reversed. You shouldn't go into that thinking that you're going to reverse it. And also, a better advice, instead of saying never fuck again, maybe for the women that I do have sex with, prepare that she could be the mother of your children. Maybe don't spend time with hoes all the time thinking I need to fuck 50 girls so I understand feminists and how retarded they are. Maybe just don't fuck them. Maybe fuck women that you can see yourself having a family with.
When you first, hold on, that's a very good
You won't
point.
be able to detect that, though. unless you have experience.
Sneako's spitting like
How do you, wait, no. How do you need experience? What does that mean?
How would you know what's good for you if you never had it?
The red pill advice is you need 50 bodies.
I want to open this one up.
Let's go.
Do you think you need to fuck a girl to tell her she's like family material?
No, we're saying experience-wise.
What does experience mean?
Dating, courting, having that one-on-one experience. Okay, she likes this, she doesn't like this. This is weird.
to be fair, I do think that sometimes after you have sex with someone, but then that's just me. People say different things. Then, like, I think you can kind of see, really, do I like this person? You have sex with them. You definitely got past the... Okay. You've definitely got past the infatuation phase. Like, oh, God, I just desperately want to know what they look like. And then now I really like this person, actually. Like, I still want to be here. I'm enjoying this person's company. So, I sometimes think, like, before you want to be in a relationship with someone, I'm not saying, like, before you even start dating someone, date someone, be on dates with them. But I think, like, I would always usually say, yeah, I would have slept with someone before you know 100%. Let's be fair, my fiance and I kind of just spoke a bit and then knew immediately, so... who knows? Maybe he's right.
this doesn't work. I can tell from experience what works.
Wait,
Now,
what does any of that have to do with fucking?
no,
Or...
hold on, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Now, adding in sex, you can understand. Okay, once this point has passed, I can see which really is. Remember, people put on front at the very beginning. But when you have sex with somebody, they're more often likely to show you who they really are.
That is absolutely not true. How many stories do you hear of husbands who are like, my wife used to blow me every single day, and then as soon as we got married, all the sex stopped? Or we have dead bedrooms now. We were super active our first year. But that is absolutely not true. Sex can absolutely change after you've gotten married, and you can tell, regardless of experience, you can tell who's a 304, who's like family material without fucking them first. For you guys, you can probably tell just by looking at their Instagrams. Isn't that what you guys are like professionals at? Is picking out hoes based on their Instagram pictures? You're telling me you have to fuck through like 30 women to find a like how many conservative men? Like we brought in like real conservative men who have strong families. How many of them like, yeah, I had to fuck 25 bitches when I was in college or to find the love of my life right now that can take care of my kids. That's a wild statement. If you want to fuck, that's fine. But don't pretend you're doing it for this fucking altruistic purpose of finding a good mom.
But Destiny, can you admit that when you meet somebody for the first time, right?
Like, because these guys act like, oh no, we're like, we want to like be traditional. We want, like they act like they support traditional values when in reality, if you speak to like any kind of like conservative, traditional people, I was raised in Orthodox Judaism. I know a lot of religious people, right? If you said to them, hey, listen, so should I as a man just be sleeping with dozens of women to find the love of my life who's going to raise my kids, and then have a one-way open relationship while I'm sleeping with women left, right and center? Should I do that? And I'd love to get these red pill guys, and just get like a load of super traditional people. Get religious leaders like a priest, a rabbi, an imam. Get like all kinds of like traditionalist, conservative people, right? Just because I think these guys are like, because these guys like to blame women. Oh, women are behaving like this. Look at this kind of stuff. We want to find these traditional women. We want to find these trad wives. It's like, yeah, they don't. That's not. You're not living the lifestyle that they want.
You're trying to see who they really are, the person, and ultimately you can have sex, right?
You
don't have to.
But having sex is like the least important part of seeing what kind of a person they are.
Actually, if you're compatible or not is very important.
If you're compatible, but in terms of like, would this be a good mom? Is it like what if she throws it back doggy? She'd probably take the kids like out to the park every day. Like what does that even mean? Like what? Like she doesn't swallow. I don't think she'd feed my kid if I didn't make it home in time. Like what does that mean?
Okay,
like so she shows up to blow me every night, so I know she'll be on time picking my kid up from school. Like what is the correlation here?
The whole package itself, right, is going to include sex. I'm just saying the dating process itself, went through the whole motions. You can see who the person really is. That's all I'm saying here.
I've heard you say that a lot. I'm not understanding the connection.
All right,
between...
so this is why. Right?
Okay.
Because I was the one that basically said this. That guys need to. I think I should, bang at least 50 girls, if not, more at bare minimum.
What is
before
the
they get married.
average number of girls a guy fucks?
Very small.
It's like,
which is weird advice.
It's like 8.
If you're saying get a vasectomy, 1 in 3 guys are virgins or haven't had sex in the past year, and you're telling these guys, yeah, you need they don't need that problem. They're not fucking that many girls that they need to worry about having a kid accidentally.
Bro, we're saying for what Rolo said in that specific tweet, it makes sense. Are we sitting here saying, get vasectomies, guys? No. But in the context of what he said, you're becoming a high value man as quickly as possible and mitigating all risk. I see where he's coming from.
You guys aren't really having a clear stance.
So that's sweet. In that context, which we said a million times that you don't want to accept, is that from what he's saying to become a high value man as quickly as possible in your 20s and mitigate fuck ups, because again, he's retard proofing it. Like I've said before, I see where he's coming from. Nowhere am I saying, go get vasectomies, guys. I'm saying in that specific tweet, what he's saying, I understand. Now, going back to the whole thing with 50 girls, right? There's a bunch of reasons why I tell guys they need to get sexual experience with women. Number 1, you need to get an abundance mindset, okay? A lot of guys get with girls out of necessity and a scarcity mindset. First girl that touches their pee-pee, oh, I want to commit to you. So that's a problem because you're not going ahead and getting with the girl from a position of choice. You're getting with her from a position of necessity and scarcity. That completely changes the dynamics of the relationship, and that's going to put her in a leverage position. That's number 1. Number 2, it'll help you understand female nature. A lot of the times, the mask comes off after you've had sex with the girl to a degree. Now, I know what you said. Oh, well, then you marry her, and then she goes ahead and you're not getting sex anymore. That's why you don't get married, because when you marry, what ends up happening? The girl gets leverage. We tell guys, and even though people might not like me saying this, you need to always have the position of power and the position of leverage.
Would that completely change this? Well, you every single thing. Okay, go for it.
So, because this is what I'm saying, like, you need to have sex with a bunch of girls, right? You get abundance mindset, number 1. So you're
it doesn't make any sense. Like you're then coming at from a position of scarcity. I don't know what he actually means. Like what? So you're thinking, oh no, I can't get sex. This is the only person that can get sex, and then it's weak. I mean, do they think that that's how, like, if you speak to like conservative people, then that's how they live? I mean, I want to be clear. I'm not in favor of like. I want to be clear. I live a very liberal lifestyle. I slept with like enough people. Like it's, but it just seems so weird to say that no, you can't know you like someone, and you can't even have a good dynamic in your relationship unless you've banged like 50 people. It seems a bit crazy. Not a bit crazy. I'm sorry. This is just like the ideology of these red pill people. It just grew on the internet. And a lot of the people, not fair enough, not these guys, who spend half their time talking about it, were either angry virgins or guys who just have sex with loads of women, which I think is kind of true of Myron. Who have sex with loads of women because they feel it gives them status or it gives them something like this. And they don't even like sex. They don't even care about sex. They just like, they want this status or they want this or, and so the ideas about sex, relationships, anything like that is just ridiculous. Like it's so weird and outlandish. I know so many like people who are varying degrees of like social conservative, just normies who are just like in the average who think the mainstream views, and like there's no community of normal people that I could put red pill ideology to, whether they be conservative, liberal, left, right, whatever, where they're not going to think it's mental. If you put that ideology to like 99% of people offline, they would just laugh at you. I've always wanted to get like somebody like Fresh and Fit or something and put them on like a main proper news show with a panel of normal people from a cross section of society, and they have to explain their beliefs to them and have the people ask them questions. And I think they'd start to see how like divorced from the average person's life their entire ideology is, and like how silly it seems to the vast majority of society.
Actually picking her versus, a necessity standpoint, then helps you understand female nature because you understand female manipulation tactics. Because girls, right, will do whatever they can to withhold sex from you. So before you give enough resources, time, whatever it may be, it's a dance between the two genders to get what they want. And then yeah, you become you're able to better discern female nature. So those are
I think everyone else points is silly. One, woman is going to have leverage over you as soon as you have a family, right? If you guys are the ones that are saying the family court's all rigged and bugged and she can fuck you with child, so that doesn't matter. Whether it's marriage or child support, the child support is scarier than the marriage part. Because the child support is you're hooked for 18 years and you're always on child support, whereas alimony is like 10% of all marriages. So whenever you're talking about avoiding leverage in a relationship, that goes immediately out the window as soon as you've nutted up on her. Okay, and she's pregnant.
If you have kids,
yeah.
Right?
So
okay.
We're talking about shopping for a woman that can have kids. So that's one thing. Second thing, I'm trying to remember every point you made. Discerning female nature.
Getting an abundance mindset.
Yeah, getting an abundance mindset. In any healthy relationship, your partner's gonna have some kind of leverage over you.
Of course, but you need to maintain most of the leverage as the man.
Even both people are gonna have somewhat of like ultimate leverage over the other person. If you're in a healthy relationship, you don't want your wife to leave you. That would suck. She doesn't want you to leave her. That would suck.
Of course, but as the man, you need to have most of the leverage, and you need to care about the relationship less than she does. Is my point.
Okay.
In every relationship, one person is needed more than the other. I say the woman should need you more than you need her.
That's
my argument.
Horrible relationship advice. This is because at some point you have to make the decision to say, I'm going to start investing a scary amount of emotional and physical and psychological resources into this relationship to make it work. Any good relationship is going to have that investment, such that if it ends, it's going to suck. If you go into a relationship with this thought process of like, I need to be able to leave this 304 at any fucking point I want to be fine or whatever, you're never going to get a good relationship. Those aren't good relationships. I feel like I walk away at any point in time and I don't give a fuck. At some point, you're like, the whole point of like a relationship where you really love each other is some amount of like vulnerability and trust in each other to not like fuck up, right?
See, I see where you're coming from, right?
Yeah, that's coming from the trying to maintain a healthy relationship.
No.
It's so true though. Like what they think a healthy relationship is it's not just unhealthy. It kind of sounds borderline abusive, not like super abusive, but just like some guy, he gets some woman, she has his kids, like he doesn't care about her, he's sleeping with other women, you could leave at any time. It's like, no, that's not healthy. Like find someone you fall head over heels in love with. Find someone that you love, that you want to spend the rest of your life loving, that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Find somebody like that, right? And invest all of your time in that. You're going to end up spending the majority of your time, at least when you're not at work, with this person, right? They're going to be there when you wake up. They're going to be there when you go to bed, right? You really need to make sure that is someone that you're literally crazy about. That's why people say that, because it's like a madness. It's like a madness. I love this person so much that I can spend all of my time with them and never get bored of it, right? That is hard to find, and you don't get that by going, well, I need to be half in, half out, keep them at a distance. No, you need to find someone you can give everything to. You need to find someone you can give all of yourself to and have them give all of themselves to you. And that is how you build a relationship.
But that's why I'm saying, like, because I want guys to be in a position that even if they love a girl and they really like her, they can still walk away from her if she does some dumb shit, and you get that from having abundance.
That's not
mindset.
love, though. You're not building like good relationships there.
You can absolutely love someone and still walk away from them when they do stupid shit.
If you can just walk away,
you have to. But that's what I'm trying to say. Guys need to have that skill set, because most guys end up sitting in stupid ass relationships that they don't want to be in with girls that disrespect them, that treat them poorly, that do a bunch of
there's a difference
because
you
they have a scarcity mindset.
Sure, no, that's because they're fucking retarded, right? You can say maybe part of it might be a scarcity mindset. Some people stay in bad relationships for way too long, but if you go in trying to set it up, it's like I can walk away from this.
What is the reason that they stay? Why do guys stay in bad relationships so much? It's because of scarcity mindset. Why do girls get over relationships way faster than guys? Because girls don't have a natural scarcity mindset like men do.
Destiny, you mentioned love, right?
I don't even think that's true that girls get over relationships way faster than guys. Because you guys on here are talking all the time about like, oh well, the reason why I don't want to date a girl that's older is because she's got all this trauma from all these other relationships. How is a woman simultaneously traumatized by every relationship she has, but also gets over them really quickly?
No, but here's the thing. Then why do women break up most of the time? Because they have another guy lined up.
This is so like bizarre. It's because they don't talk to women. It's because they don't don't talk to women. Obviously they're trying to bang women. They talk to them like that. They don't care about anything a woman thinks or says. And so they don't have proper conversations with them. Like humans generally, it is a deeply online ideology. Like I need to find a way of making chat come on screen like it should do. I've got a chat box, but it doesn't. But anyway, yeah. So they don't talk, right? Have conversations with women and learn that all people are very cut up if someone they leave, if a relationship they're happy in, that they love, if that breaks up, even once you're no longer happy, it can be very sad. And so to put forward that, oh no, like women just get over relationships. Like, I'm sorry, I've known women go completely crazy when they get out of relationships. They're so sad and cut up. I've known guys go like that. It's, they're like, their opinions are partially just so malformed because they don't properly have conversations with women, care what they've got to say, care what women think. It's like a load of like quite misogynistic guys who think women's opinions are all just feelings and have no value and you should ignore everything they say, getting together and trying to figure out what does a woman want, how do women think and feel, and thus come out with just gibberish.
Hold on, if they break up most of the time, doesn't that imply the other one's the one fucking up? Isn't that what the implication should be?
Because they want to leave.
Hold on, if I were to tell you, in business relationships, if this partner is left, like 50, 60, 70% of the time, wouldn't you assume it's because the other one is fucking up?
That's on a normal case, but we know why women do it.
Why do women do it?
They get bored. They don't feel like it anymore. They have other options.
Bored and don't feel like anymore are good reasons to leave a relationship. If you feel like you're bored in a relationship, you don't like the relationship, of course you should. Why should you stay there?
That's why, as for men, you said you mentioned earlier love, right? What is love? Love is freedom. So having the freedom to walk away is powerful.
Love is not the freedom to walk away from your partner.
It is.
That's not true. Love is an obligation to your partner. That supersedes your personal freedom. That's the whole point of like, don't we say like fucking women and children first, and like men dying for their family and their countries, and like I feel like this is some shit where like,
on one hand, the guy's got to stay if he loves her, but the girl can leave because if it's
the woman shouldn't leave. Well, hold on, if the woman loves her partner, whatever, you also shouldn't leave. But if people are getting bored or don't like the relationship anymore, for a guy or girl, yeah, of course you should leave if you're not like feeling anymore. Of course.
That's my point, bro.
A woman won't get bored if you have a scarcity mindset.
Women have a natural abundance mindset, which is why they overwhelmingly initiate divorce and breakup. So what I'm saying is that guys need to also have an abundance mindset.
That's not why women initiate divorce. It's like they make it up. They go, it must be because they have an abundance mindset. They don't talk to women and find out, well, why are they getting divorced? Right? Because I'm kind of interested. I want to get some, because it does seem like women initiate more divorce, but I'm quite interested to know what are those guys doing? What are the main reasons for the divorce? Like, are the marriages, because it could even be the case that a lot of guys are just scared to break off relationships because there's a lot of evidence that a lot of men have who are married, especially older guys, most of the friends are through the wife or work. If they get divorced from the wife, sometimes it can cost you your friend group. It's one of the biggest contributors to male suicide. And actually, I think it's one of the highest numbers of groups of men killing themselves is like mid-40s to mid-50s because, people get divorced, they lose all of their friends. So there's a lot of reasons why this could be happening. It might not just because the men are terrible. It might be because the men are being bad in the relationship. But these guys just assume, and it's nonsense. It's just nonsense. They make an assumption, and because they don't talk to women, care about women, properly have a conversation with women that not just try and talk them into bed. That they just come out with nonsense. So it's not even just that they're guessing at it. It's just always silly.
Of the power struggle isn't as polarizing because most girls hold their leverage in most relationships and guys have no power in their relationship. And what I'm saying is that
I don't know how that's true. Like women fare worse than men in almost every degree after divorces. So they're pretending.
What are you talking about?
They make more money. They have better dating strategies afterwards. Men just do better than women in almost every single metric post divorce.
What, bro?
Hold on. Source, you can fucking Google it. Financial outcomes divorce men versus women. You can look it up. But you guys know this on your podcast. If you were scrolling through Tinder and you see some dude who's like, oh, single dad, that's like whatever. For some women that might even be a plus. He's got a kid. He's a cool dude. Whatever. If you see single mom, what are you assuming? That she lives in the fucking Hamptons? That she's in Beverly Hills? Single mom. She's probably lit as fuck. No shot.
They get wiped up all the time, bro. Listen,
single moms get wiped up all the time.
Come on.
Wait, what are the single? Hold on, okay, I don't want to make it racial, okay, but like we're black community here, right? Where like single moms are getting wiped up all the time by other men. That's not true. Single motherhood in a lot of communities is like one of the most destructive aspects of families, and it's really hard for single moms to find another guy because guys would rather not raise another kid than a woman would be willing to jump into the guy with his own kid.
Bro, are you saying a divorce absolutely impacts men more negatively than women? Absolutely, it's not even debatable.
Look at outcomes afterwards.
It's not
even debatable, bro.
Night and day difference.
No shit, I know this. Tell them.
If divorce didn't destroy
You guys are arguing it, but it's so funny because this is the one time where we can just use our feelings, and your intuitions are right. You're using your brain right now to try to think. I think single moms actually get really well. We all know that's not true.
No,
single moms get fucked.
Women fare a lot better post-divorce than men do, bro. And the reason why is because they get the resources, they get the money, they get the children, they get put in a better situation financially.
No, they don't. Dude, they get the house.
Moms don't live good on child support. That's not true. Have you ever seen a bitch on child support? She's not living the greatest fucking life. She's not rolling in with her BMW like, oh yeah, I got my $350 child support this month. I'm ready to tear it up. This doesn't happen.
Well, we're assuming that they never got married, one, and two, they were poor from the very beginning. I'm just saying, in an average marriage for the most part, the guys make more money on some level, right? Let's say they divorce and the woman leaves. She's getting probably the house and money. So it's kind of like she's winning. He is on the other hand in a car or for example in a friggin'
How much money do you think you get for child
You're talking about like the 1% of the 1% situations where a woman is like getting a whole house and child support, and there's like a fantasy story. Like I'm sure it's happened, but this is incredibly rare most of the time, and everybody knows this. You're fighting really hard in your brain to try to think like single moms do well. Everybody knows that's not true. You guys even say single moms are use and abuse or one time use only for fun only. You guys all say that shit. We all know this.
We're not saying single women. Okay, single moms do better than single dads. What I'm saying is that. I'm saying that single women, divorce hurts men more than it hurts women. That's my argument. It definitely hurts men way more because men have more to lose. And if it didn't, why are women initiating 80% of the divorces?
Because they must really hate the relationship.
No, because they stand to benefit from it way more than men do.
They don't benefit from the divorce more than staying married.
I mean, that statistic that I saw, of course, it fares immediately. It seems like the women are doing better financially. That's because usually women are not as earning as much as the men. But at the same time, there's also, if you look at the mental health rates, men are 8 times more likely to commit self-deletion after divorce.
True.
8 times more.
Marriage is a good controlling factor for men.
8 times more. You're going to say that women do so much,
Are we going to use suicide as the defining factor? What percentage of people commit suicide?
No, but it is a factor. It is a factor to it to show who actually suffers more from divorce.
Hold on. Suicide is affecting like point whatever percent of all men divorce. Income is affecting everybody. And in income, men fare better. In future relationships, men tend to pair up more often than single moms do. Like these are just two stats that are
okay, maybe it's 1%, but still the fact that it's 8 times more reflects the mental health too. Just because only a small percentage of them are actually pulling the trigger, the rest of them must be way
I think the single mothers getting with like I think it's very difficult if you're trying to get with guys who haven't had kids. But I think I want to be clear. I'm not saying it's not a lot harder for single mothers, but like, right for single mothers that like to find somebody. But I think a lot of the people, Destiny too, are kind of ignoring that. Well, okay, a lot of like dads are also divorced, have a child. You know, those kind of guys are going to be much more likely to want to be with a single mother. Not always. I'm not saying it's not harder, but. I think sometimes people talk, especially online, as if, oh, she's a single mother, she's virtually no chance, which is like silly. No, people get together. I mean, look, my parents got divorced when I was young. My mum got remarried, so.
Compared to the women.
I mean, they fare better by the numbers. If we want to say unhappy, right? We can find some way to measure that. But I don't know if I would say
women just stand to gain more post-divorce than men do, which is why they overwhelmingly initiate the breakup.
I think they overwhelmingly initiate the breakups because they're unhappy with their relationships.
So then why get into it in the first place?
Because in the beginning, like every relationship,
they're rewarded for it
because they know once they get into it, they can break it and get away with it.
You will never find okay, you might find one or two, but overwhelmingly, you're not gonna find women that are like, oh yeah, like I got with this guy and I figure like, if it goes bad, at least I get divorced, I get like child support and shit. Nobody thinks like that.
They're going to attorneys before they even get married.
No. That's overwhelmingly not the case. Nobody thinks like this. Like real women do not think like this. Oh yeah, like I get this guy and like at least I got my divorce, I get like alimony and child support. Nobody, except for like the ultra rare 0.1% crazy people. Like,
let's say they're not aware of it, right? The moment they say, you know what, mom, I think about divorce. Guess what happens? They get flooded. Oh, daughter, go here, do this, do that. They're gonna find out what they can do after the fact, and then they do it. So either way, they can find out and still do it.
Bro, if your wife is asking, how can I get a divorce, then the relationship's already fucked.
If women didn't stand to benefit, why are so many women so hell bent on getting married? The whole like women want to get married, right? And if it doesn't work out, they can divorce to get the money. Like, bro,
women probably want to get married if you're gonna have a family.
My stance is simply this: divorce hurts men more than it hurts women.
The argument, like, women want to get married because it's culturally heavily pressured, like heavily sold to women that the pinnacle of your life is getting married in a way that I don't think it is to men. I remember a long time ago, ContraPoints did a video. I think it was when she came out as a lesbian, when she said that that actually a lot of women don't realize they're lesbians until later in life because like society so heavily says, well, the whole pinnacle of your life is finding a man. It actually takes them a while to go, wait, I don't actually want a man at all, right? Because think of every film girls grow up, at least until recently, but like women who are adults now, think of all the films that they grew up watching, think of all of the way that these things are presented, the way marriage is presented, the way marriage is presented is supposed to be very important to a woman. All of these factors are what lead, all of these factors, I think, like, are what lead women to be so, like, pro-marriage necessarily compared to men, right? And I think most men want to get married. Like, if you poll the majority of men, and most men want to get married, I just think they're less enthusiastic about it.
Overwhelmingly, from all aspects, whether it's money, whether it's paying alimony, whether it's finding another partner, because a single mom still will be able to find a guy to replace the dude to a degree.
Single mom dating sucks.
He might not marry her, but she'll get more options. Benefits. Yeah,
single moms get a bunch of options
on Tinder. They're booming, bro. No, we say don't do it, but they can still get options.
Yeah, there's a lot of simps out there that'll still take them on.
Yeah, you watch any of the dating shows like on TV or any of these, like, bro, single mom dating sucks. It's like the worst fucking thing in the world.
They have more options than an average guy.
I don't know.
And you pull this stat that men pay 85% of child support after divorce. 85% of people pay child support to men.
There you go.
That's because most of the time the women are the caretakers of the kids and they take the kid. Of course,
that's the point. So
because men are taking care of their kids, the man just leaves.
But hold on, what are the courts based on? The child's best interest. So who does that align to?
The mother. It aligns with the primary caretaker,
which is the mother. Which means
sure, but if the mother's taking care of the kid, then of course she's going to be the primary caretaker.
So by default, they win a divorce, which means they have a better option.
But the average child support payment in the United States is like $400 a month or $450 a month, and like 50% of women don't even get child support. And $450 a month is not a lot of money. You're not living a life of luxury with $450 a month of child support, and you got a fucking kid to take care of.
That's if they are marrying an average man, though. If the guy's successful, even better. We're just saying the odds are not for men.
I'm just saying, I don't care about the odds. If you don't argue about that, that's fine. It's this idea that women are going into relationships like already planning out their divorce timeline. That's insane. Nobody wants to be divorced. It sucks. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating.
It sucks for men, not for
no,
women.
it sucks for everybody.
So explain why did Steven Crowder's wife leave?
What? Steven Crowder got a divorce attorney before she even divorced him. What do you mean?
He wanted to keep the marriage going.
He might have, but their relationship was obviously fucked. If you watch the
Okay, but ultimately, it was probably her. She was the one who leaked that video out to the press. She was the one who initiated it.
From 2 years after. But
so what was the reason?
Crowder had already publicly started talking about the divorce as well.
Okay, well, they got married when they were virgins. Everything seemed to go fine. He didn't hit her. He didn't cheat on her. Why did she want to leave?
Do you think that hitting somebody and cheating them is the only reason?
That's why I'm asking you. What do you think was a valid reason?
I don't know what their relationship looked like. There could have been a million.
You did. She said the worst clip that she could possibly find from the footage, and it didn't even look bad at all. It was a small. He said, "Watch it." Why? That's it.
No,
Big deal.
It looked bad. The relationship looked fucking miserable. If any of your relationships look like that, you're probably.
If that was the worst thing you could find, if that was the worst thing you could find, that's a happy relationship, and that's not a good enough reason to leave a marriage. That actually proves that women are incentivized.
First of all, they already probably been to therapy for counseling. Okay, this probably wasn't their first fight. If they're having regular fights,
that was the worst fight you could find on camera.
On a ring camera on their porch.
There's probably other cameras in the house. I mean, if that's the worst thing she can cover up, then that marriage is not bad.
We don't. She had that clip from 2 years ago. Women definitely plan.
She had it for 2 years ago. They were getting fucking divorced. They probably saved all the ring camera footage. No shit.
No, it disappears out the well.
No, but 2 years ago, it was like a month or two later where they were already like getting divorce attorneys and shit. So I'm sure they were probably backing all that shit.
And it was edited.
No, it was not edited.
It was. She cut out a certain part of it.
There was none of it was edited.
And it was cut off at the very end.
None of it was edited.
You can look at. You can literally.
I saw the
timestamp.
We saw the timestamp. She literally cut out 40 seconds of the conversation.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, if you watch the way that ring cameras record, okay, what a ring camera does is as soon as it begins to record, it records for 60 seconds.
Yes.
And then after those 60 seconds end, it looks for movement, and if there's no movement, it'll cut. If you look at the ring camera footage, and we can bring the video now if you want, it'll be like at 30 seconds, there'll be like a little itty bitty cut because people stop moving, and then as soon as somebody talks, it starts recording again. Then after 1 minute and 2 seconds, it cuts again. Then after 1 minute and 2 seconds, it cuts again. It wasn't edited. It was just because there was no movement in the video. You were later on, if you want to watch it, you can go watch it. Because initially I thought it was edited, and then I had some autistic fan that came out and he drew all the shit for me, but like the video footage was not edited.
Regardless, whether it's edited or not, there was a significant part of the conversation not put in there for about 45 seconds that we did not see what was said.
I don't think.
And at the very end, we didn't see that last part either.
Well, because they went inside and it wasn't being recorded. I'm just saying. Hold on. I just want to see your opinions on this. It doesn't have to be cheating or physical abuse to want to leave a relationship. Do you guys agree with that? Or do you think
so? What's the valid reason? What do you think?
It could be that they fought all the fucking time. It could be they didn't love each other much anymore. It could be that they stopped fucking. It could be that they couldn't figure out house chores. It could be that she didn't like that he worked all the time in trouble.
It's so silly that like, oh, he didn't hear it, didn't cheat on her. So what could possibly be? It's like there's a million and one reasons. I mean, my parents like, my dad never hit my mum or cheated on her, but like they would just argue and argue and argue all the time. I'm never 100% sure why they actually got together because each of them is exactly the sort of person that would drive the other one mental. Like I love both my parents; they're both great people, but they're exactly the sort of person that would make the other one mad. So.
All the time. It could be that he didn't like her friends and she was talking shit. It could be that like her hygiene got bad or she got fat. I don't know. There's a million reasons.
Nobody's arguing that. We're arguing that if it happens and they get divorced, men are going to lose.
Well, hold on. No. This is pushing back on the initial point that women go into relationships looking to get divorced. And then he brought up Steven Crowder's situation. Like, they're married for 9 years. Do you think she planned that out? Do you think her life is going to be better now as a single mom with twins? Saying, I got fucking divorced. Do you guys think women like wear divorce with pride?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes they can.
Yeah.
But
okay, that's wild.
But
look at Tom Brady's wife.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna bring up a billionaire fucking white. Come on, these are your go-to examples. Do you think the average woman tells her family?
Women look up to these girls. Women always compare themselves to the famous celebrities they see on the magazines. Like, I'm a divorce queen now. I'm having my new awakening in my 40s.
Okay, so look, you might be right where no party likes divorce, but ultimately, who's gonna win? The women. We're just saying that
women will get more money from the man at the end because the man is usually earning more. But post-divorce, men fare better than the women. That's why the women get a little bit more money.
They fare better in what regard then?
Financially and in future relationships.
I still think a single mom has more prospects than a single dad. 100%. Like women have more. Bro, an average girl has more prospects than some of the top.
So mental.
Prospects to fuck.
But still, here's the thing.
Prospects to fuck and prospects to dance are totally different things.
You're 100% right about that. But they at least get the opportunities.
Yeah.
To put themselves out there in front of a guy. Because yes, there's a lot of prospects to fuck, yes. But in that, all those prospects are some guys that will definitely court them and take them seriously as well.
No, I mean like, no, fuck. I don't want to shit on single moms, but there aren't a lot of like ultra high value guys that are looking to wife up a single mom who's like.
We didn't say high value guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying they just have more options.
Sure, no, but I'm saying that like it's not like her dating options are vast. And if you look at the research, men afterwards will fare better in getting into relationships better than women do, who are single dads versus single moms.
But they're still broke though.
They're not. Why are they broke?
Divorce.
Divorce doesn't break you all the time. That's not true. You guys look at the most extreme example.
Well, also 85% of men have to pay child support after divorce.
Again, the average child support is like $450.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for the average guy.
If I'm making only $1,000 a month every 2 weeks, bro, that's a lot of money.
If you're making $1,000 every 2 weeks, you're not paying $450 in child support.
Well, you said that's the average.
I said that's the average. You're giving me like the lower end of like what men are making.
That's a lot of money for a lot of guys who are watching the show right now.
Probably, but a lot of guys watching the show right now never touch a girl in their life. So.
And then you're also getting child support. And then that's such a stupid point.
First person going to touch your dick is a doctor to the
Don't take that from him, bro. You are a stud, bro.
How are you going to say that there's no guys that are going to take a single mom seriously and then also make fun of 20,000 people watching and say that these guys aren't fucking? Of course they're going to go settle down with a single mom if they got the chance. If you're calling these loser guys who can't get a girl, if they find a hot girl who has a kid, they're going to go and settle according to your logic.
Yeah. Guys, why does she want a loser? Well, she got a bloody kid. Why does she want a loser? She's got a kid. She wants somebody who's going to be good for the kid. Ideally, at least, you would want her to want that. So, why would you, there's this growth loser, this super cringe red pill loser who sits online all day, like, watching Fresh and Fit because he can't get a woman. Why don't you go and see if he wants to take on your kid, if he'll be a good dad? Will he be a good dad? Will he be a good... He'll make a good stepdad. Look, he hasn't left his house for 3 years. He just sits there watching anime and masturbating. When you see if he fancies raising your kid with you?
I mean, the numbers don't lie, but
20K watch.
yeah, like, how many likes do we have on this video?
I don't know, but some probably went. Some dislikes probably came after that. That's fine.
And there are divorce parties. I've seen a lot of them on social media. Women celebrate that. They have their new thing in their 40s. I'm 21 forever. They celebrate this thing. It's actually encouraged a lot of women like
that. It's simple because, like I said, as feminism has gotten stronger and stronger, women
That's
are
more
able
like trying to cheer.
know,
I feel like that's more trying to cheer people up. Or sometimes people can get out of an unhappy relationship and be happy, but also it's not the majority. Like the majority of people, divorce is hard. It's stressful. It's very upsetting. It's not something people want to do. And the idea that like women are just like, oh, it's nothing. I'm going to be rich. Like, unless, like, not really. Like, if your husband's a millionaire and you have nothing and you could maybe get a load of really good lawyers still somehow, like, maybe you can get a load of some of his money. Like, but they fixate on the most extreme celebrity, wild, like, examples. But, like, I just wish these people would go out and meet normal just dudes and normal women and go and meet normal people and talk to just normal people about hey, go out and meet normal women, not these crazy women that they tend to get on Fresh and Fit. Go get some normal women. Hey, how would you feel about getting divorced? Do you go into a marriage thinking I want a divorce? And the problem is they don't respect anything a woman says. So if she says no, they just go, oh, she can't handle the truth. But
relationships, etc. Things have changed. The sexual marketplace has changed. Women have initiated more and more divorces, bro. Like it's women
this
are
idea that like,
nowadays.
the idea that women like divorce and like to initiate it, and it's like fun. It's
They
just
like being single?
Wild. No, they like to
initiate
have a
it.
bad relationship, but they don't like divorce. Somebody goes in wanting to get divorced. It's humiliating to say you got divorced.
Because here's the thing: women don't marry for duty like they used to anymore. They marry for I want to be
Feelings.
happy. They marry for happiness. And let's be honest here: happiness and emotions fluctuates all the time.
Yep.
That's part of building a relationship.
But a lot of girls don't want to
It's
stand that.
great,
They don't-
though.
But that's
The
what I'm
whole
trying
point of
to say.
building a
Girls don't
relationship is
stand
building it past the honeymoon phase. Like, oh, I love you.
So
That's part of building a good
hold on, you know what,
relationship.
Destiny?
Yeah.
You better never get divorced.
Well, I've already been divorced.
So what are you saying?
Wait, who initiated that one?
We both kind of did.
I know what that means.
We got him.
I got married when I was 19. We both got married for financial aid.
She initiated, bro.
What is we both initiate? I mean, we're
We
gonna get
can move on,
personal.
bro.
We can go as personal as you want. We broke up.
No, you were personal about the
We're
great
gonna
dinner
go there.
table story, so you're not gonna get personal.
We're gonna move on, man.
Yeah, I'll move on. All right, we got here Cam from TMR Radio. Stop the cap. Statistically, abstinence preaching doesn't work. The whole point of his post was risk mitigation.
Fair, I
Being
think
on
it was
super
actually
clicks.
his
This is
destiny
actual
cheating
female-ish
on all
arguing
that.
like this.
Well, it doesn't have to be abstinence, but also just realize the risk. Like when you go and have sex with a girl, understand that you could get her pregnant, and then take responsibility for it if that does happen. Like if you're gonna exercise discipline in every single aspect of your life, you need a network. You can't watch porn. You can't play video games. You can't smoke weed, but you can fuck a bunch of feminist hoes who you don't want to have kids with. That's stupid.
Sneako, I agree with you, but here's the problem.
Niggas gonna smash.
You did plan B, right? Why do you keep it?
Better than getting a vasectomy.
Just say abortion is fake. So
Better than getting a vasectomy.
Listen,
Look, I was in college, man. That was back in the day. No, Fresh, don't make me fucking air out your shit, bro. Because I was being honest. You know, got it one time. No. It's okay.
We're not the one advocating for it.
I'm advocating for it.
You're not taking any stance at all. You're like, well, I understand why, but I'm not pro or con.
That is
Take a stance.
that is individual choice. I can't tell anybody to do what they don't want to do. It's individual.
I'm asking your opinion. Do you think advocating for vasectomies for a male audience is good or bad?
that's
And
what
I
the
told you
whole
the
show
last
is. The whole show is telling people, hey, do this. This is the best way to live. If you want to be a high value man, you've got to go to the gym, build a business, do this and that. Hey, I can't tell people how to live. I can't. What do you want us to do? Give like life advice? That's yeah, it's your job, mate. That is your job.
Nigga.
So you're not taking a stance?
Hold on.
Not that
I
they do it well,
personally,
but
I'm not gonna
still.
do it. But
I'm not asking about you. Would you advocate
Okay,
for
there's a good
Here we go. 20,000 men's brains. They're connected to you right now, Fresh, and you can transmit them one message. Do you tell them?
Get a
you should
vasectomy or
vasectomy or
So,
don't get a vasectomy?
this is
wear
the
a condom?
answer. This is the
Yeah,
full
what do you tell them?
answer.
Their minds are hooked in you right now. Get ready. They're about to call their
Right
general
now.
practitioners right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
As a man, decide what you want. Do you want kids?
God.
Listen,
Bro, this is
hold
a
on.
ducking answer.
I'm giving them the full answer. Do you want kids? Do you want a business? Do you want to be successful? Weigh that out. Then put in priority what matters to you as an individual man. Then from there, plan out your life. And if that goes to vasectomy, well, good for you. But if it doesn't, so what? I'm just saying, as an individual, you choose whatever you want to do. It's simple.
You're avoiding the question.
I answered it for you.
That's not an answer.
Yeah.
It is.
Would you advocate towards vasectomy for the majority of people watching? Yes or no?
I told you. It's up to that
It's a
person.
yes or no question. You kick out girls for not answering yes or no questions on the show all the time.
Answer the question.
Coming out
It's a yes or
hard.
no.
No, it's not. It's not black and white.
I'm asking you a yes or no question.
What? Bro, I just told you the answer.
Hold
was.
on.
It does vary wildly from man to man, bro.
The thing is, like, if you're saying like all this stuff, you're not really giving me advice. Like, imagine somebody comes to me like, should I start working out? I'm like, well, it depends on your diet and your sleep, and you should make the right choice for you based on what you want your life to look like. That's not advice. If somebody comes to me like, do you want to be high value? I'm like,
So,
should I get a
remember,
vasectomy? Like,
this
well,
is-
you should make the right
this is
choice for you.
for the
Like,
general
well,
population.
yeah, but your
Generally.
advice is like figure out what's right for you. But they're coming to you for the advice.
General advice, if a girl came in and said, should I wait until I'm 35, freeze my eggs when I'm 21, and then unfreeze my eggs when I'm 35? I would say, no, that's a stupid decision. You shouldn't do that. You should go and prioritize your youth now.
Okay.
Yeah, and you would probably agree. You would probably tell the girls who want to freeze their eggs, that's
Wait,
stupid.
Why
can't you apply
that comment was insane. Let's just go back to that. If a married family have 500k, this might get so like a normal family with half a million. the normal family would just have $500,000 in the bank. They might get split $250K each. Yeah, obviously, immediately they'll just give it to her. He will have to pay this, his and her legal fees, so they'll only get 190. Plus, he'll be paying alimony and child support, so he can't afford to date afterwards because he's only got 190K of money. So, I mean, that's not even going to buy you a steak. That not even one steak. How's he going to buy two for a lovely date? You know, I'm thinking of dates to a steak place. That's like the worst place for a date. You can't buy a drink even. That would have made more sense. But still, like, these people who watch the show are mental. Like, what Fresh and Fit say is silly, but if you read some of these that come through, it's unhinged.
To go and prioritize your youth now.
Okay.
Yeah, and you would probably agree. You would probably tell the girls who want to freeze their eggs, that's stupid. Why can't you apply? That's the exact same thing for men.
But Sneako, what are they going to do? Do whatever they want to do.
And so I'm looking for your advice. I'm coming in as a viewer, as a Fresh and Fit viewer, 20,000 people watching. What is your opinion on this?
I just told you. Personally, I won't do it, but the individual might want to do it.
Okay, if a girl came in and asking if she should freeze her eggs, yes or no, what would you say? Oh, it's up to you?
I would say, personally speaking, if I were you, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
But it's up to you. And guess what? What happens on the show? They give advice all the time. They still go out and do the same shit. So it's kind of like, bro, I give people advice, but they can do what they want to do anyway. So your point's mute. Let's move on, man.
You just like destroy the whole format of like YouTube shows. If you're just gonna say you're gonna do what you're gonna do anyway, it's like, okay, here's the financial advice show for rental properties. You guys are gonna do what you're gonna do anyway. Good luck.
No, I'm not saying this question, but I'm saying in general,
it's
right?
his job.
Man,
Your job
that's
is
your choice to make.
that's what you do.
So I was playing video games, so I was
That's
smoking
what
weed.
you do. You
altering
give this
choice.
advice for a living.
And the stance from the show is being fat is
bad
unacceptable.
advice.
Most guys are going to be fat anyway. They're getting fatter and
This is
fatter.
external to having kids. That's a life-changing choice for having kids, not being fat.
Being fat is life-changing. Very life-changing.
Not for kids, though, bro.
Damn, it's even worse for kids being fat.
I mean, having kids in general.
Okay, but if you can have a hard stance on a life choice, being fat, why can't you have a hard stance on a vasectomy and having children?
I just told you what it was.
Mario, do you have a hard stance on this? Like, because you've had controversial opinions on sports, video games, porn, everything that distracts you from becoming high value. Mm-hmm. Do you have a hard stance on this? Like, would you advocate yes or no towards getting a vasectomy?
Or we can say, guy comes up, he's 19, okay, first year in trade school, because college is for losers, he's on his way to become an electrician. He's like, I think I want to start my electrician company. Hopefully I'll find a woman in the next like 4 or 5 years, but I want to focus my career for the next 3 or 4 years. Find a woman maybe when I'm 25, 26, and maybe have kids when I'm like late 20s. Do you think I should get a vasectomy? What would you tell that guy?
In that particular situation,
Yeah.
I would tell him, no, just wear a condom and don't be an idiot and focus on, obviously, your business, everything else. But,
okay,
right, you guys got to understand that for this particular situation, it's not black and white because every man is in a different point in his life and it varies wildly depending on their age, their income level, their sexual experience with women. So you can't give one, piece of blanket advice. And you guys trying to say, oh, well, for real estate or for fitness, well, that's objective because to make money on real estate, you have to do X, Y, Z. Typically, that's going to work for a majority of people. But this is not black and white like that. Or fitness, for example, go to the gym and exercise because it's pretty much irrefutable that going to the gym and exercising is going to give you a healthier life. So that's not up for debate. But when it comes to vasectomy, that varies wildly between each man and their life choices, what they want to do, where they are in life, their sexual experience, how much money they make, etc.
So mealy-mouthed. This is to defend a tweet. A tweet. Just go, you know what? I think he's making a silly point there. Listen, if you want a vasectomy, get a vasectomy. Like, this has no, the real meaning, the true meaning of the tweet. You've got to understand that it's actually what it. Bro, just say it was a bad tweet. You're going so far off what the original thing was saying to defend this idea that, hey, I mean, if you want a vasectomy, you can. No one's saying you would ban it. It's illegal now. We're just saying don't use it as a form of contraception that you intend to have reversed. Maybe save the vasectomy from when, you and your wife, if you intend to have kids, or had kids, you had enough, you don't want to get pregnant again, you want to make sure, then maybe a vasectomy. But they have to tie themselves in knots to defend a tweet from some random, well, not a random fella, from some fella who apparently is the godfather of Red Pill. So they have to, just can't go, yeah, I don't know, I like the fella, but I think he might have had a silly point here. They can't even do that.
The advice is very easy. If you're at a stage in your life and you're done wanting to have kids, get a vasectomy.
And also, I don't think
that's a situation where it would be valid.
That'd be like my blanket advice.
That's one example where it would be valid.
It is, but once again, what if I change my mind 10 years later and it's harder?
You're fucked.
That's the point. It can change.
There's a difference between like I'm 36, I've got 3 kids, I'm done having kids, I'm gonna get a vasectomy, versus I'm gonna get a vasectomy when I'm 19 because I don't think I want to have kids. Those are two wildly different
And
situations.
that's your demographic for the most part.
Sneako, you said yourself, right, that you change as a person.
With the
vasectomy is a permanent surgery, so I wouldn't recommend someone get a permanent surgery if you're going to grow and continue maturing throughout your 20s.
Okay, that's great. Once
Actually,
again,
it's not permanent. It could be reversed.
Maybe.
There's a high likelihood that it could be reversed.
And also, I disagree with you saying that you're saying that it varies man to man about what they want in life.
Yeah.
I don't think it really varies as much as you're saying it does. Our purpose here, the reason that we're here, is to have a family. The reason that we exist is to procreate. It does not vary as much as you think. The reason
it absolutely varies.
we
One
were
guy
not
that has
born.
children is different than a guy that might not have children. The guy that has children already has a family, just like Destiny said. He would be a good candidate for vasectomy. Go ahead and do it. Another guy, right, that's younger in his life, might not be a good option.
But the advice wasn't targeted at that guy. You know who that advice was targeted at. It's targeted at like the young guy in his early 20s or teens because it's saying vasectomy in your 20s. So this must be advice for people who are just starting their male adulthood.
Again, bro, it's taken out of context.
That's exactly what the context was.
You're taking what he's saying and like applying it to the general masses. He's saying in this specific instance,
high value.
if you want to get your value up as quickly as
And
possible.
who is that advice for? Young men, not the guy who's already had 3 kids, who's 36. He's not going to decide I'm going to become a high value man like after having a family. You're targeting towards young men who are navigating life, taking advice from an older guy on the internet.
Look, he's saying for this particular situation, you want to become as high value as possible. Like quickly do all these things, and it'll mitigate your risk. Okay. He can also say in there, work 150 hours a week. Obviously, that's not practical for
I
us.
saw that. He said he wants to call in and tell us what he actually meant.
I guess. Here's another idea. How about you tell me? Let me call in to tell you what I actually meant.
You know what? Let's do it, bro.
Yeah, we got to fire up the phone lines though.
Okay.
Mo, you know
Chris, is Chris not here?
Chris is not here.
Elbow.
Yeah.
Sleeping, dude.
No, Chris.
Okay.
We'll
get it done.
get it going.
Okay. Some chat for now.
But yeah,
Guys, we got 21K watching, man. Like the video.
Yeah,
bro.
what's
Go
up
to
with
the channel
this, guys?
and follow you on Rumble?
Cuxting, yeah. Rebel.com/.
This guy,
Yeah,
bro.
That's
yeah.
fucking funny. Custody. All right, where we? Jose Corota goes. Martin, how are you okay with telling young men to go to sleep around before marriage? You said men should sleep with at least 50 girls before marriage. Quran 24:2. Condensed promiscuity. Sneako go do Muay Thai in Thailand. Look, bro. This is what I mean when I say people lack critical thinking skills.
We're only supposed to do the fun parts of the religion, okay? Not the shitty parts.
It's not- number one, I'm not saying that I'm the Mu'min, the best Muslim ever. I've said this plenty of times that I'm not the best Muslim, and I need to practice better and be.
Oh yeah, here we go. I forgot Myron had also become Muslim. Or was he already Muslim? Hello. I'm a very devout Muslim, and I'd like to tell you about how you can bang all the sexy girls with bang 50 women. As a Muslim, I believe you should bang 50 random strangers before you can find your true wife. Go and ask an imam. And then, like, of course, I'm not the best Muslim. Of course, I don't know why I keep giving him a posh wash. Yes. Hello. But he's like, anyway, come on, let's get on with it.
Many times.
Muslim if I want to. I've said that before. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, I'm telling guys in the West, if you want to go ahead and get a relationship with a girl, these women are promiscuous and these girls are out here doing things. I don't want guys getting finessed, going into a relationship with a girl that has more bodies than you, has more sexual experience than you, and you're a virgin and you think, oh my God, she likes me, because you're too stupid to realize and don't have the abundance mindset to understand how women move. So again, this is what I'm trying to say when I say like these traditional conservative beliefs, they're fantastic on paper, but they don't work today, bro. They don't. Okay. And with all the things that guys are risking with the marriage courts, the divorce courts, etc., you're gonna take a L. So you need to know what the fuck you're getting into, man. So again, if you want to go ahead and have a more traditional.
To be fair, actually, given the like what we discussed, actually probably men are, like, generally speaking, not paying huge amounts of child support. They're not faring as badly as these guys seem to think. Like, aren't they giving quite bad advice? Like, oh no, you get shafted, don't get married, she'll be able to take all your money and run away and lock you with, like. So, like, a lot of the things are telling you to protect yourself from, like, don't actually exist. Like, obviously the guys are giving bad advice anyway, but I just even think, like, they're.
Relationship like what you're
Just the
advocating here,
whole
bro. Go to Saudi Arabia.
thing.
You know what I mean? Go to a Middle Eastern country where they observe
more patience.
those beliefs and take them more seriously than here. But I'm talking about in the West, man, where feminism is strong. You have to move.
I think
differently.
we're over the
The
hump.
game has changed. All right. What else?
Don't get
we
me
got?
wrong, I'm having fun.
Kingdom 001. Destiny is
Losing
fully
so
when it
much
comes to
red
his
pill
relationship beliefs. His
nonsense.
wife said he had problems with cheating and loyalty. That's part of the reason she insisted they have an open relationship. He's actually lives a red pill life. You
Listen, I got all
understand?
sorts of problems with my relationship, okay?
At least making it work, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
Chuckles,
yeah.
Honey Suck says, question for Sneako. What's your opinion on the drama that happened between Rolo and Nick?
Who's
I
next?
didn't watch it, but you know Nick. Our guy, the next president of the United States in 2036.
This nigga, bro.
America first. I don't know if you watch
Oh, that night.
Ron-
Wait, what happened? What was the drama between them? What happened?
it. I'm not sure I need to watch it.
Oh, damn.
Ron Zero says, so it's not a high value man, but a high value man to women. Because the true value of a man won't ever be defined really by rather or not another gender like you. That's just a fringe benefit to being high value.
Oh, nice.
That's your
Good
point
job.
earlier.
That guy should be a co-host.
Yeah. No, but Rolo once again was mentioning high value man in itself. Brendan 100 says, hi guys, support from Malta. Wanted to say thanks for self-improvement and motivation. So listening to your podcast, I got promoted to an executive role and working for head of department. Keep doing this and it does help a lot. Shout out to you, bro.
All right.
Dig this.
What else here? 3 Diglets Sneako. When's the last time you busted a nut?
No, you meet watching like crazy, bro.
Damn. We got the dick police out tonight.
I mean, that's a valid question.
That's not.
Yeah, Mr. Traditional Conservative.
Fuck, bro.
Mr. Tradcon. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Tradcon.
Yeah, bro.
Go ahead, nigga.
When did I say I was a TradCon?
It's in the name, Sneak On.
Sneak on.
Bro, were you not on this podcast less than a week ago?
Did I say I was a TradCon?
The family, blah, blah, blah.
A leaf in the wind. Bro. It's blowing.
I'm not. Okay. When did I? It's a specific question. When did I say I'm a TradCon?
We.
You don't have to say it, but you had traditional conservative beliefs about, your
Family
your
is-
families and all this other stuff. Like, why should guys waste their time having pointless sex, meaningless sex, blah, 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 blah.
Don't stop the baby, Sneako. You know what? Let's hashtag Sneako's baby. R.I.P.
What? Sneako's baby. RIP.
You said it.
I'm not killing no baby. That's crazy. You want me to go on a podcast right now and tell everyone, oh yeah, I busted a nut yesterday. That's what you want me to say? Talk about my nut bust?
Yep.
Genuinely, that's what you want me to talk about. But you can't answer a specific question about vasectomies. You want me to talk about nut busting? No, you didn't. Yes or no
Essentially,
question.
based on Sneako, I'm sorry, like, Sneako still is having some crazy beliefs. He's still saying some stuff, but I'm gonna give him some credit. He's firing off in here. Like, I've not seen him do this before. I've seen him like more like sit there, well, do you not think, what about this? And like, now he's actually firing off. Now he seems more confident. Like, you know what? Like, he says he's not a tradcon. I'd have time for tradcon Sneako. I'd have time for it because at least traditional conservatism, like as much as I disagree with, like the only things I disagree are that they try and force it on others. You want to live your life that way, great, right? But they can't. They always have to force it on other people. But Christ, is that a better ideology than red pill? Is that a more internally consistent ideology that's going to leave you with a happier life than red pill? So yeah, I'm actually happy for Sneako that whilst still seems to have some crazy beliefs, he seems to be growing up. He seems to be moving away from this nonsense.
It's not black and white. Black and white.
Okay.
Every guy's different.
I'm asking you a yes or no. I asked you a yes or no
If we
question.
give
You
me a
ducked
specific
that.
scenario for the guy, then I can give you a specific situation, a specific answer for him. But again, I can't give a
General
specific
advice.
Dude, generally, you heard us.
Every guy's
Personally,
different.
we would not.
Significantly
It's
different.
funny though how you answered it for the girls though. You would say that a girl you should not freeze her eggs, and you would definitely get the same
Because
answer.
women have a finite amount of time to have children. It's biological.
So
They
it's
have-
general
Freeze your
for-
eggs. That's the point of freeze your eggs. You don't have a finite amount of
There
time.
you go.
no,
It's
no.
general for women, but it's not general for men.
Because with women, their chances of having a child after they turn 30 drop off precipitously.
Not if she freezes her eggs.
Nico,
Not if she freezes her eggs.
It's still
Nico,
it's still
are we the same?
ability.
As women, are we
Men
the
and women
same?
are not the same. We
I
don't
feel
have
like
the
there
same
should be
time
a
clock.
segment of the show.
I was actually looking this up earlier today, and like it gets greatly overblown. Like if you're a woman of 40 and you are trying to conceive in a year, there's still about 45% chance in that year you'll conceive. But if you try for the next 4 years to conceive a kid, like 65% of women essentially at age 40 would within 4 years of trying. Fair enough, difficult. That's a long time, way longer than a woman who's 20, but could still conceive a kid. If you're 14, right? There's, I'd say probably, well, at least according to data, about a 64 to 65% chance you'll be able to conceive. Big contingent of women that wouldn't be able to, but like still plenty of women. I mean, my mum had my brother when she was 38, certainly late 30s, like over 35. Like the vast majority of women could still conceive. More difficult, but they can still conceive.
Now, where I find the most retarded shit Rollo has said, and I see how much you guys defend it. Because I know you motherfuckers don't want to defend this point, but because Rollo fucking said it, I feel like you're roped
it's
into
just
it.
context, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, can we get him on
Get
the
him
phone, bro?
line.
I might call him.
Where's the first
my
time
phone
call
is put
line?
on speaker.
Yeah,
I'll do
let's do
it because a Block Talk.
Takes
I
a
have to fire it up and it'll take some time. And then,
or he could join StreamYard.
oh shit, actually we could do that
Roll,
too.
I'm gonna send you the link.
Yeah, all right, then that could be two. Okay, so we got here Jay Wood, LOL Saint, Jim's comment, fax machine opener, Destiny and his girl smash dudes on the side. Sneak, I wish I had taken Rollo's advice. 1K a month child support right here, sir. Times 18 years. You're young. You don't know.
You don't know how to pull out, bro. Pull out, bro. Well, you pull out game week.
But see, okay, that's true. But again, the whole vasectomy thing is like we said before. It's retard proof for the people so that they.
So
don't
you're
make
calling him a retard?
I'm telling you right now.
It's doing well, Sneako, in this. I'll give him that. Also, with the whole child support thing, like I don't, you don't know people's circumstances, and I'm not judging anybody, but like in a normal situation, why would you kind of not want to give some money to make sure your kid's okay? Like, don't get. I'm not talking about some random person you had a kid, you randomly got somebody pregnant, they refused to have an abortion, but like, why you have a child with someone, you get divorced, didn't work out. Why do you not want to just know, listen, the kid's okay, I give some of my money each month so that we can ensure the kid's got people looking after them, the kid's okay? I don't get it. What's that, Sean? 35.78, after 35, 78% of women can conceive within a year, yeah. Yeah, no, that's true, that's what I was saying. That 65% of women could conceive over 40. Yeah. Really to make chat appear on screen, it should do, but it's like the chat box is broken. Sorry if it's annoying for people, I'm responding to people in chat, if you're wondering what I was doing.
Oh, he's acknowledging that mistake and saying like, damn, yo, bro, like I fucked up.
So you're calling yeah, okay. So you're retarded. Pull out. What's wrong?
I love how you.
I mean, that's basically what you're saying.
I look at
Retarded.
the guy's picture. He looks retarded.
All right, where are we at here?
Hey,
Five
sorry,
more.
guys.
Yes, my vasectomies are 97%.
No, well, simply
reversal within
That
10
is
years.
not true.
I don't know where you're getting
It's
that.
90% plus. Yeah.
It's like
I don't know if
30 to
97.
60%.
I don't
It's
know
like
if
30 to
97.
60% after 10 years.
No, within.
No, within 10 years is not true. It's not 97% reversal.
No, it's 90%
Just look it
within
up.
10
Fucking
years.
Google it.
Okay. However, vasectomies can still cause most men to be infertile after reversal surgery based on many studies. So Sneako would be right in this case about Rollo comments.
Oh, hold on. If we're going to play the well actually game, that's probably true. The issue, the studies that I've seen, isn't whether or not a vasectomy is reversible. It's how many of those men are fertile after. So it might be that you can get it reversed, but the fertility rate, it like drops a ton. So I'm pretty sure fertility after 10 years is anywhere from 30 to 60%. But that doesn't mean it just magically zips to that after 10 years. Like it's steadily going up every single year.
Yeah, it takes time. Okay, where are we at here?
Okay, we got Cam.
From TMR Radio goes, stop the cap. Statistically, abstinence preaching doesn't work. The whole point of his post was to risk
Yeah, read this
mitigation. Sneako's being, read the one. Okay. A low hand, can F-boy be a good dad?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but a whore can't be a good mom, right?
No. Men and women are not the same, Sneako. We all know this.
Ooh.
Run zero, $50.
Could be a good one. By whore, they don't mean a prostitute, by the way. They mean They win a woman who enjoys sex of any kind and isn't a chaste virgin for the man who had to sleep with 50 people he has no respect for in order to know that he could get the right one who would submit to him and then be half in, half out of the relationship.
Someone is fucking up, but it's not necessarily due to it being the other person's fault. Also, if you love, you'll let them go is true.
Yes.
Like leaving someone because you know the toxicity will hurt them both. It shows maturity in the man.
Love is freedom.
Okay.
Being able to walk away. Sentience.
Oh.
Welcome back, my friend.
Welcome back. Where you been, man?
He been in other places.
Other places?
Other podcasts.
Okay, Leslie, you said love is an obligation to your partner while also saying if someone is bored in said relationship, they should walk away. So which is it? I said, that's what I was trying to say earlier.
point.
That's not a good
which
point.
Is it an obligation or a whimsical feeling? Talking quickly doesn't make you intelligent, it makes you a charlatan.
Oh, sorry. I'll talk slower for this guy. Okay, I see the $100 probably came from some social services fund for him. Okay, so
He's a doctor.
listen. Okay, yeah, I doubt it. Okay, okay. Unless he's got a PhD in gender studies for red pillology. All right. Okay, listen. Love is an obligation in that if you're trying to build a good relationship with somebody, there's a lot of problems that you have to work through. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you're obligated to stay through everything forever. If like the relationship is not working, your obligation is to make the relationship work whatever way you can. But if it can't, at some point you just have to walk away.
So is boredom a valid reason to leave a marriage?
It depends on what we mean by boredom. If boredom is like both partners don't like to see each other or do anything with each other, if they don't like to see each other do anything with each other, then yeah, that's a valid reason to break up. Why would you want to be bored with somebody? Why would you want to be in a relationship like that?
So how is it an obligation to be bored?
The obligation
I
isn't
understand what Destiny again so seriously. You shouldn't work at a relationship. You're like, I'm feeling bored. Like, don't you go, you know, I'm feeling bored, fuck it. But relationships take hard work. But being bored and not being happy in a relationship, you should, like, being in a relationship you're happy in is the best thing, really, one of the best things you can possibly have in life. And so if you've not got that, it is worth walking away to try and find it. You should be quick to do that, but nobody's quick to do that. I mean, I'm sure you can find some nutter, but, like, if you're consistently bored, it's never getting better. Why would you just stay in a relationship you're not happy? So many people of like older generations did that, just stayed there. And, you know, you see these old couples where, you know, they're both in their 80s and they haven't even bloody spoken for like 30 years. Like outside of, oh, we're having tea today. Oh, okay. Right. Like, no, they haven't had a proper conversation. They don't do anything to like, they don't even really like each other anymore. So just leave. Just leave when it gets like that. Try and work on it, but if it's not happening, just leave.
to stay no matter what. The obligation is to work.
It says till death do us part within marriage. That's the whole creed of marriage. If you leave because you feel like it, why you get married?
Boredom is a terrible reason to get divorced.
Okay, you guys sound like you're
that goes against the whole vow of marriage.
How are you gonna like marital vows and in terms of how you guys pick and choose your relationship?
How would you get married?
How would you feel if your girl was like, you know what, I'm bored, bye.
If my girl was bored in my relationship, yeah, I feel bad. I try to do something to alleviate it. But if I can't, then yeah, of course, I'd expect us to break up. Why would I want to be with somebody who's bored with me?
But that means just because she feels bored, she can leave at any point in time, and you're gonna be on the hook.
Yeah, we live in a society where both people can walk away at any point in time. It's called not having fucking slavery. Okay,
yeah, but you're on the hook though. She's not.
Well, it depends on if you've got kids and whatnot. Yeah,
it seems like there's
another obligation.
It seems like there's no reason that you got married then. If there's no obligation besides like if something really happened, if there's some terrible infidelity or you beat her or like she's extremely depressed, but boredom is a terrible reason to end a marriage.
Is it a good reason to end a relationship?
A relationship is more lenient, yeah.
Okay, you guys are on some other shit. I personally don't give a fuck about marriage. But if you're big on marriage, yeah, I'm not like I think it's a piece of paper to me, right?
So why did you get married?
Because how else is she gonna get in the country? She's Swedish. When I'm married, we can't live together.
See, it benefited her, but
okay. So then can you
really
benefited
me because I get to live with my wife. Sorry, I had a fresh one there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a benefit to me. Okay.
This guy, man. Okay.
But yeah, but I mean, like, if you want to get married to like make it official, there's some financial benefits as well, arguably, when it comes to filing taxes, and then when it comes to for both people, mainly for the man actually. There absolutely is a tax benefit.
Minuscule.
The risk that you're taking to get that small tax benefit is not worth it.
There's a risk in every relationship. There's a risk in everything you do in life. There's a risk in relationships.
Of course, but in that situation, the risks from divorce far outweigh the tax benefits.
Okay, are you just gonna tell men?
Real estate.
You understand that there's like common law marriage in like 24 fucking states too? So you're telling men don't live with your significant others either?
Yes.
Don't. We tell guys don't get married and don't live with your girl.
What kind of relationship?
Also, these guys would say start a business. If you start a business, you can end up bankrupt on the streets, right? You can lose everything. It's a big risk. It's a big risk to start a business, right? But these guys will say, no, yeah, you should start a business, you should pump everything into it, you should be working, you should do these kinds of things. Well, okay, but why take a risk in that area? You know, it's kind of like if you're saying, yeah, we should start a business. So it's like, yeah, but what if you get sued? What if like, oh, you know, it's in your customers' interests to say that, you know, that your products poison them because then they could sue you. But like, no. Yeah, life is risk. Sometimes you have to take risk. Like, you know, sometimes I get in a car, I'm taking a risk, it might crash. Like, that's life. If you make friends with someone, you know, and we're just like two guys, like we're just making friends. Like, there's a chance one day they turn out to be a dick and, like, I get my feelings hurt. Or, like, you fall out. And then now you have an enemy. But that's life. Life is risk.
talking about then?
Bro, she lives somewhere else. You live somewhere
Yeah,
else.
they come together every now and then. We'll do a sleepover.
Don't live with a girl,
Good to
bro.
see you.
Fuck no.
Having sleepovers with your
go to
wife,
yeah,
your
yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Bro, again, I take it from a defensive standpoint to protect the guy. Like, don't live with the girl, don't get married. Absolutely, yeah. And here's the other reason why it's bad. I don't suggest guys live with girls. Like, number one, that mystery is gone. Number two, you're gonna get softened up living with your girl because she's going, oh, hang out with me, have ice cream, all this other bullshit. Like, nah, man, you need to be by yourself or live with other guys that got their shit together so you stay sharp.
Yep. You're living with the bro squad.
Or live by
That's what
yourself.
you guys
Or
can
live
have
by
like the
yourself.
keys to your chastity cages
Or-
while you're all
or-
like bunking
or live
together.
by
Like,
yourself.
Oh, he's
can
funny.
you give me the key tonight? Like, I'm gonna go fuck somebody. Like, yeah, but I'm gonna take the condom on your little pee before
Here's
you.
the thing, because men aren't
Bro, you can't make gay
competitive.
jokes.
This so sad. Like, you don't live with them except for like. This is what I mean about you don't like women. These guys, like Myron. You don't. I don't mean he likes dudes like he's gay or something. I mean he doesn't like. They don't like women. They don't enjoy the company of women. So to him, it's like, oh my god, your wife could be like, oh, spend time with me. Let's go for ice cream. Ooh, that's lovely. If you're in a loving relationship, you're happy. Like obviously, like sometimes you see other friends, you want to do something, but for a relationship, and you're happy. Like it's nice to sit. Like I love having lazy days with my girlfriend. I love going out with her, doing stuff. It seems like if you don't want to spend that time with someone, and it's annoying for you that they want to spend time with you, that's like you don't really love that person. That's not love. That isn't love. Love is when you love spending time with them. You want to be with them. Being with them makes you happy for years. Not just like, oh, it's cool for the first couple of weeks. You used to be together for years. Right? So, I feel bad for Myron, really. Like, I honestly, genuinely feel bad for him because I feel like he's clearly not a stupid guy. Right? I mean, he's built all of this. He used to work for Homeland Security. But because of his, like, essentially a hatred of women, he now, I don't think could have a normal, healthy relationship, which again to me, like, it's the most just wonderful thing you can do, even if it ends. I've been in relationships that like have ended, but it was still like worth doing, to have that time with you. It's just, yeah, it's actually sad. It's like I'm actually upset for him, like genuinely upset for him.
If you're bisexual, you can't make gay
I
jokes.
can make it because I'm bisexual. It makes it extra okay.
Okay, 'cause you're calling
I'm not even gay enough to live with
you're calling it
another
gay.
man.
You're calling it gay if like men who are friends, or if I live with my brother, then that's gay.
That sounds like
but you living with your
gayest shit in the world.
you
That's
actually
gay.
are gay, and
That
you
is
live with your
gayer
wife.
than sucking dicks.
But
Okay,
what you're saying does not apply.
The guys on Grindr on average are less gay than guys who are like, I don't live with my significant other 10 years because I'm shacked up with bros that are high value men, so we can fucking slap each other's dicks on the way in and out of the bathroom while we help each other with our high value lifestyle. That sounds like the gayest shit in the world.
Here's the thing. I didn't say like you need to live with other guys. What I'm saying is that it's better to either live with other dudes or live by yourself, but don't live with your girls. My main point. That's the takeaway.
Okay.
Don't live with your girls.
And that
Do you guys
jokes
like
don't
living
apply.
with women? Like, is it?
No. Once in a while, I'll see you like once a month or like once a week or something like that. But absolutely not.
You guys not like your partners? You just-
No, it's just that living
We
with a girl
love
softens you up, bro.
They become insufferable.
But as a man, that environment is not healthy long term.
Absolutely not.
That's all we're saying.
You don't actually really like
We're gonna
it.
soften you up when you live with them, bro.
You know what the Quran says?
What?
Like, you should just avoid your wives when they're on their periods. Like, don't even see them. Like, just be away from them. You shouldn't be around your woman when she's. I'm like, yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I was looking for. It solves all the problems. Why would you want to be with her all the time? She's always emotional. She's always gonna have a problem. She's gonna want to like put her legs on your legs while you're just like chilling.
You just sound like you hate women.
You're working. No, they're great sometimes, and then they get too much, and then go away.
So you
Go your
could
separate
handle
ways.
with being with a woman all the time, but you could handle living with several high value men at the same time.
That sounds like way
You're
more
making it sound really
enjoyable.
bad. You're making it sound
I'm
really
just saying
bad.
it sounds a little gay.
Well, no, because
These dudes don't like women. Like, seriously. It's kind of hoping Sneako had moved past that. Like, still, no, oh, why would I want to spend time with a woman? Like, because you love them, because you like them. Like, this is the problem with misogyny, right? It's not just, sorry, it's not obviously the problems from misogyny and the things that women face that are much worse. But still, this is even, like how an example of how misogyny hurts men. Like missing out on like all of the fun you can have with a woman, with women. It's not even just like with a woman that you're in love with. Like, it's kind of sad to not want to have friends who are women who like not like I love hanging out with women. I like hanging out with men. But I'd kind of be sad if I didn't have any like female friends. Like, it would be kind of sad. Like, I like women. I enjoy the company of women. I like spending time with women. Like, it's not just, oh, I enjoy fucking, so I'm prepared to be in a woman's presence so I can fuck her. It's like, no, I like women. And these guys don't. And it's sad because they're hurting themselves. Because they're hurting themselves by robbing them of, firstly, of healthy relationships, right? Of the time when, you wake up in the morning and you're with the person you love, you see their face every day and it still makes you happy. It's one of the best things in life to know, you know what, I've seen this person's face every day for the last 4 years and each time it's made me happy. It's a really great feeling. And they rob themselves of this.
you'll have more similarities with them. Go to the gym, making money, discussing fucking getting better. Like,
But the only people that call
conversations with chicks.
the only people that call that
Dude, I've lived with friends and it's been fun and we've had a great time. But I'm 37, man. You'd be like, hey, you live now with your fiance, wouldn't it be great if she moved out and all your fucking bros moved in? No. No, it'd be horrible. You'd go back to like how it was when we were living together and it was a shithole and it stank and there was mess everywhere. No. Like, and that was fun back then. Like, it's done now. It's nice. It's nice living in a proper relationship. We're trying to build a house together. We're not just a group of single dudes living together, fucking everything off, not caring about anything. Like, it's fun for a while, but Christ, you have to grow up. And also, like, just find someone and love them. It's happy. It's wonderful. It's so good. It's so good.
Gay are actual gay people.
Okay.
Like men understand that. Like, why would I want to live with a chick all the time? She's gonna be nagging. But like a dude who actually sucks dick is calling it gay if I live with another guy.
Yeah, that sounds super. I wouldn't even want to be around a man that much, but
Clearly you do.
I don't live with a man. I live with a woman.
Okay.
Let's move on, man.
All right, where we at here?
Oh,
Yeah, we'll get off Twitter
and Facebook.
Come on over to YouTube and Rumble, ninjas.
True.
And also, we got Rolo joining us shortly. Oh, Rolo's here.
Oh, he's already here. Oh shit. Okay. Do we have anything else while we read before we bring Rolo in?
let's do
Let me
this
finish
real
these and
quick.
then we'll bring Rolo in. Destiny, when I was 28, I dated a woman 7 years older than me. She got triggered one day when I was listening to my favorite rock band because her ex liked the same music. That's part of the baggage older women come with. No thanks, never again. Okay.
Angel.
D, there is a large number of women on social media promoting starter husband culture. It's all over TikTok and feminist blogs. Divorce is planned before the wedding. Why do women get crappy about prenups if it's for love till death do us part? Well, yeah, because women don't. Yeah,
they don't care.
If they don't feel it a certain way, they're gonna divorce.
Yeah.
That's why they initiate it. Safraz Zaman goes, how can Destiny talk about
I
relationships?
think people get like annoyed about prenups because it suggests you don't trust them. Like, I kind of get that. It's kind of like seeing. It's just kind of like, because I'd be kind of a bit, if I was marrying a woman and she had loads more money than me, she was like, whoa, I want a prenup. It's not that I wouldn't sign it. It's not that it would turn me off our relationship, but kind of like, oh, I thought it was love, like, you don't trust me. But don't get me wrong, like, you know, people can be blinded when they're in love. It can be a good idea as a general rule if you've got loads of money, maybe to get a prenup. I don't personally have loads of money, so yeah, she can get half my computer.
When he has an open relationship while he is married, so ask him who initiated an open relationship. If he says it's him, we all know it's Cap.
I mean, we started a relationship open. The whole point is I like to fuck around. I'm never going to date somebody that's in a close relationship. That's my choice. But if you think it's Cap, then you can think it's Cap. I don't give a fuck. I don't need a ton of people.
Well, he's asking who initiated it. You or your girl?
We started it open.
No, but who?
Someone had to initiate.
Said, hey, I want this first.
It started that way.
She said on my stream she's always been open.
She's always done open relationships, and I've unfortunately cheated in relationships. So if I was ever going to date somebody again, it could never be a close thing. So I found her. She does open relationships, and she introduced me to the concept. She's like, oh yeah, like sometimes like I fuck around, and even though I'm dating, like, oh, that sounds fucking awesome.
So he followed her protocol.
Yeah.
So
she took the leader. She was the masculine role on that. Yeah.
Bruh.
Okay.
All right.
And you're calling okay?
Bro, one kid is 25% of your income, 3 additional percent for each kid, up to 9%, total 34% of your income. Pre-tax is 99% of the time you have to maintain insurance. Add another 6 to 1,000 a month. Please give this man with 6'9" stupid. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I disagree with Destiny on. I think that divorce significantly hurts men more than women. I mean, Destiny disagrees, but that's fine. But that's fine. We'll keep going. Taylor. Destiny, if women initiate 8% of divorce but fare worse after, are they acting against their best interest by getting a divorce? If so, why? There's a difference between faring worse after a divorce and faring worse as a result of the divorce. Okay.
Yeah, you guys just don't think about like relationships at all. Like, it's not just about the numbers for people. Like, some people are unhappy in their relationships, so they leave. But I think you guys just don't compute that at all. It's all about like numbers and game and red pill and like some people just are miserable in their relationships and they leave. They divorce.
I'm just saying. My stance was simply this: women fare better after divorce than men do. You don't agree? That's fine.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, the numbers don't
the totality of the circumstances, from a financial standpoint, from having other prospects, from being able to get back into the sexual marketplace in an advantageous position. I think women have a better ability to do that post-divorce than men do. That's my argument.
I understand. I disagree.
Okay.
8 times more likely to self-delete.
That's fine.
Emmanuel
and I think that's the beauty of this is that we can agree. That's my stance. You disagree. That's fine. Emmanuel Cephas goes, I want to give a special thanks to Myra for helping me find my purpose. Currently pursuing a career in federal law enforcement. I will make it my mission to find a way to put Sneako in federal prison when I get that badge.
Jesus
You're not gonna catch me, bro.
Okay.
You're not gonna catch me.
Great combo. Just want to say,
For what though? What did I do?
Sex, I don't know. A relationship.
They must, right?
2023 relationship starts with sex now. So if you have more opportunities to have sex, you have opportunities for dating. But for women, it probably won't be their first choice. Okay, I get what you're saying. They get more opportunities significantly, which means they have more ability to find a guy in all those opportunities for a real relationship.
Okay.
Okay, we'll bring Rolo in right now. Shout out to Rolo Tomasi.
Shout out to Rolo in the building.
And then, guys, from this point forward, I'm only going to read 15 up because we already got 22K y'all watching right now. So
Damn.
number one, before we bring Rolo in, go subscribe to Sneako on Rumble, rumble.com/Sneako. Go subscribe to Destiny also on Rumble, and he's on YouTube.
Get the book.
Wait, Reserve Less?
And
go get the Rational Mail too, man.
And join the CEO network, man. That's the value.
I just want to say, if you guys are serious about selling the book, you really should have did the audiobook version with Fresh reading it. You would have sold.
Listen, man.
And it has to be a special edition, filmed in one take.
Oh, but that would be
one
really
take,
bad.
no edits.
Oh, okay, let's go ahead and bring Rolo Tomasi on. Shout out to Rolo. Shout out to you.
Can you hear me okay?
What up, man?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So let me explain a few things here. I wasn't able to do this last time you guys were talking about this, but so about gosh, is it now 2 weeks ago? I think it was Tuesday of last week. You guys had Brandon Carter on. Is that with Derek Moneyberg? Or was that Monday?
Monday.
Monday. Sorry, let me get my camera back up there. So Monday, you guys were talking to Brandon Carter. One of the things that Brandon was talking about was you got to love money. You got to be on top of your game. And I love Brandon Carter, by the way. I think he should be a stand-up comedian. I mean, the guy is that funny. He's a great guy, right? But when you guys are on that show and you're talking to him, and he's talking about how he doesn't go to he doesn't go to Publix, doesn't go grocery shopping for himself. He doesn't go do his own laundry. He doesn't have a car. I mean, it's Brickle White, but he doesn't have like some basic stuff because his philosophy in life is that anything that takes him away from his grind, anything that takes him away from anything that would distract him or that would be financially or mathematically not a pragmatic choice for him to make, as far as like if he's spending time going grocery shopping or going and getting food for himself or whatever else. I'm sure he's looking into meal prep and everything else, but pretty much everything in his life is outsourced, because anything that he would be spending that time himself to go do, he could be losing money doing that at that time. So when I was listening to this, and I was thinking about this myself, because I was actually at the same time, I'm like, helping a friend move and all this. And I'm thinking about this. I'm going, you know what? If you want to be a high value man, if you want to get to that apex level as fast as you can, how is that not the best way to go about it? Okay. So the point of that whole tweet, which was basically a throwaway tweet that everyone started like snowballing into something else. I've got Ben Shapiro coming at me. I got Matt Walsh coming at me. I got Lauren Chen coming at me. I got all these people off of Daily Wire because it was just easy, low hanging fruit for these guys because they think that that's what the fucking manosphere is all about. And it's not. Okay. That was not fucking advice. Everything that is on Twitter is not advice. Okay.
Was that a joke?
No, it was not necessarily a joke, but it's like, let's just say it's a hypothetical. Okay.
Wait, he coming in and saying that this isn't serious and Fresh and Fit have been tying themselves in knots. Fresh and Fit have been tying themselves in knots, trying to defend this tweet from this geezer. And now it's coming on, oh, it was a throw. It didn't even mean anything. It didn't even mean it. I'm just throwing it out. They've been going, no, the true meaning, the deep meaning of what he actually meant was not get a vasectomy, but you have to stay on your grind. It's like, no, I'm just saying, let's stay on your grind, blah, blah, blah. It's not, it's a throwaway tweet. It doesn't really mean anything. Like, why are people getting on me? Like, how far are we in? But I mean, they've talked about a lot of stuff, but over the last hour, 40 minutes, there's been a lot of Fresh and Fit tying themselves in knots to defend this guy's tweet. And he's coming out, it's a throwaway tweet. It was late night. Who cares?
Now, listen, shut up for just fucking 5 seconds, okay? There's no fucking joke here, because everything that's come out of all of you guys' mouth has been nothing but distraction and misdirection, because it's easy fucking clicks for you. So here's the whole thing. When I'm talking about get a vasectomy, or don't be concerned with.
When he's mad, his glasses got uneven on his nose. You see?
Okay.
It's really mad about this, bro.
Shall we keep going? Are we just gonna have jokes thrown in here?
Really heated about this.
Is that what I get to? Is that what I get to do it? Okay, so here's the deal. When I'm talking about this, when I'm throwing this out there, why wouldn't you do that? Would you not have been more successful, Sneako, had you not had to go through certain things? If you had a kid right now, you would be playing the game with a handicap. You would be playing the game with your fucking hands tied behind your back. Okay, so there are guys right now who I have a lot of respect for, and I'm sure you have a lot of respect for as well, who all have kids, but you know what they try to do? Try to keep it under wraps.
Okay,
so nobody knows about the.
This is nonsense. Well, my mum met my stepdad. Bear in mind, like, he's my stepdad. I was already born. Like, he was running a bread stand. Well, several bread stands in a bakery. Right, like, since being with my mother, having several more children, like, he's built so many businesses. I'm sorry, like, most business people, like, tend to get married, tend to have kids. Like, the idea that, oh no, you have to set up your business, you have to make all this money, but before you have kids, or your life's ruined, blah, 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 is like, it's just silly. I mean, listen, if you want to go, hey, listen, I'm focusing on work, I'm focusing on that, not focusing on relationships, kids now, that's fine. I support that. If that's what you want to do, that's great. You do that. Like, no problem whatsoever. But to put forward that, if you have kids, I mean, unfortunately, I think it's more difficult for women. I don't think we equalize the amount of care between, like, that men and women have to do over, kids. And I think that does mean, actually, for women, that's more difficult. But especially for, like, guys, if you have kids, it's not necessarily going to mean you can't, like, you can't have a business, you can't, like, work, you can't do all these things. It's not how it works. Go and, like, talk to business people. They have families. Like, most business people have families.
Fucking kids, okay?
What is advice?
So here's okay. First off, this is not fucking advice. Everything that is on my show or is on Twitter is not automatically advice. Now, but here's the thing. I know what you're gonna say, because here's the deal. When I was on whatever podcast I was telling this, I was saying exactly the same thing here. Is that everything that comes out of somebody's mouth on Instagram or on Twitter or on a YouTube, there's no way you can't go on there without somebody going, this is what these guys are saying to do. Because if you have this set automatically, that if it comes out of your mouth, it's automatically advice. It can't just be data. It can't just be statistics. Nothing can be just delivered. Sort of like, here's some data for you to look at. Okay, nothing can be set. Nothing.
Yeah, the statistics. Get vasectomy and just like that really great statistic that he was throwing out, all that data in that tweet of these things that you should
can be given to you without somebody going, well, the reason why you're telling me this is because you're telling me that this is the best way to live my life. Okay. So when I'm watching Brendan Carter and I'm watching all this going on, and I'm looking at, like, guys that I know and guys that you know as well. And when these are the guys who are, like, saying, be on your game, do this, do that. They're the ones that are giving this advice. All I'm doing is saying, hey, look, maybe you should not focus on family. Maybe you should not get married. I mean, I don't know why that's big.
Maybe advice.
I'm not saying it's advice. What I'm saying is that it's this over the fucking top that everybody wants to take it out of context, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
Like advice. So what is it? It's literally describing advice. I wasn't like giving advice. I was saying, hey, here's something that maybe you might want to do if you want to try and be. That's what advice is. So I was saying, hey, it might be a good idea to try and do this, but I wasn't giving advice. Okay, bro. I mean, I was trying to give you this vape, and I was trying to, take money in exchange for it, but I'm not trying to sell it to you.
What that tweet was, if it wasn't advice?
It's not advice. What it is it's saying that this is the most extreme way to do things. Okay, here's the quickest path to. If I told you this, look, if I said the quickest way for you to make $1 million,
that sounds like advice.
Is to go steal it from the bank or go to steal it. Does that mean I'm telling you to go steal it? If I tell you to go fucking jump off a cliff, are you going to go jump off a cliff?
Right.
Also, by the way, here's the other thing: is I'm also responding to Dr. Richard Reeves in this as well.
Okay, there's a lot of context about it, sure, but all the rest of the list, you're equating vasectomy to lifting, game, play to your strength, resisting up on easing your focus. The rest of it sounds like general advice.
Okay, well, let's say so. So let me ask you. So is it the vasectomy part that's throwing you off?
Genuine good advice, right? The rest of it.
So is it the vasectomy part?
Yeah.
Do you agree with pretty much everything else except for the vasectomy part?
The first three is weird because then I don't even know what the red pill idea of a high value man is. Is it just being rich? Like, what's the point of having all this money and not having a family? Why be that rich? The guy who's always grinding. Whoa, Brandon Carter doesn't have to do his laundry. Sick. What else are you going to do with your life?
Right. Maybe this is actually meant so that you'll get it. You'll have a freaking epiphany about how all the shit that you have to sacrifice to get to that in the first place. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to live the kind of life, let's say, like a Brandon Carter is, where you're going to outsource your entire life, or are you going to actually have? Is that something that's a priority for you? Because I'll tell you right now that if you follow this kind, if you were to actually follow this list right here, that is the fastest way for you to get to a point where you are more high value. Right. But here's the thing. So when I say that, people go, well, that's not what a high value man is. A high value man is what I define it as, which is he's got to have a good, loving, devoted wife. He's got to have 3 or 4 kids or 10 kids, depending on whatever culture you're talking about. All this stuff that makes up whatever that person who happens to have that is, then that's suddenly the definition of what a high value man is. So what I'm saying this is the best way to become a high value man. I'm not saying this is the only way to become a high value man. I'm just saying that this is the fastest way to go and do something like that.
We've been talking a lot for 5 minutes. What is your definition of a high value man?
It doesn't matter. That's not what I was talking about in this.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's what the first part of the tweet is: how to become a high value man.
The fastest way to become a high value man is to recognize the fact that you've got sacrifices to make. Okay.
It's like grandpa telling like stories from Vietnam. Like, just say, what is a high value man? It's the first part of the tweet. What does that mean?
You tell me what a high value man is. Because here's the thing: is it doesn't matter what I'm going to say is a high value man. You guys are fucking.
Because it's your fucking tweet.
It doesn't matter what I say is a fucking high value man, because everybody takes this. The point of the fucking tweet is that everybody's going to take this and then insert their own definition of what a fucking high value man is. That's the bait.
12 kids when you're 16. Then your tweet doesn't work, does it? What if your definition of a high value man is being getting into a trade and having 5 kids by the time you're 22? Then it doesn't work. High value man is being an esports professional.
You're absolutely making my point for me right here. Okay, what I'm saying.
My point is that high value man. You gave a list of 8 things. Do these 8 things to become a high value man. Do 1 through 8 to become A, and you're not defining what A is.
The fastest way to becoming a high value man is these things.
What is that?
So this is what I mean. They don't. Like, this guy's like significantly worse than Fresh and Fit, because like he actually can't defend anything he said. Seems like he's saying he meant it, but he didn't mean it. But I'm kind of confused, because he's like, no, a high value man can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, so why do you say those things? Well, it's the fastest way of becoming a high value man. Okay. Like, his defense of what he said is just incoherent.
So here's the thing. So if we're talking about family creation, we already talked. Okay, so you want to go? Okay, let's go one by one. You want to go one by one? Okay,
no,
so
I'm going to go before one by one. What is a high value man?
We can't have an argument if I don't even know what your
definition is. The very fact that you're even asking this in the first place is the actual point of the fucking tweet. Okay, so if you're going to be a high value man with the fucking hands tied behind your back, then what is that? What does that mean to you? That's the point. This whole discussion is the point of the fucking tweet.
You guys, the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high value man. Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it, and now you've gotten blown the fuck up on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is fucking retarded. But you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn to fucking walk back from it, because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to fucking have this conversation in the first place.
How old are you, bro? Douche nozzles?
Yes. You guys are fucking idiots. Why do you guys come in here from fucking Twitch? Like, how you guys are legitimate in all this? I don't know, because everything I've heard come out of you guys' mouth is just fucking confident ignorance.
No, Myron. Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the godfather of the red pill.
You call myself the godfather of the manosphere, okay? Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's very.
Do you understand?
Okay, so as that,
or grandfather of the man, which one is
whatever it is, the old guy of the manosphere. What is your definition of high value man? This is the #1 talked about topic on all of these shows, so I want to get a clear definition from you. What is it?
You tell again. It depends on the person. It depends on the culture. Depends on the. So here's the thing. Let me tell you, maybe I can explain this to you, Sneako, because at least you got your ears open here. The thing is that when we're talking about what's the top G, what's a high value guy, you probably haven't heard this because you don't read my stuff and you don't watch my shit. But I've also said this is like the red pill has to be for everybody, or it's for nobody. So if we're looking at a guy who's draped across a Lamborghini and he's got hot chicks with him, and we say that's what I'm aspiring to, but I'll never make that because I live in a fucking fishing village on the coast of Chile, right? That means I can never match that high apex of a high value guy.
The guy in the car.
But the guy who happens to live in those villages or happens happens to be in a different culture or in a different country or whatever else, he can still benefit from that because however he's defining himself as a high value man in his fishing village, maybe that's what he can aspire to.
It has nothing to do with Chile and the village in the car.
See, here's the thing: is you guys want me to say, okay, a high value man makes $100,000 a year. He's fucked 50 chicks. He's like, that's the thing.
That's not what I want you to say. I disagree with that. I'm asking you because I come on this all the
disagree
time.
with it. What I'm saying is the point of the tweet is so you'll ask that question.
I'm past the tweet. I'm past that. Look, I'm asking as somebody who's really interested in the red pill. I listen to a lot of this content. I want to know what your definition is, because if you have a definition that's completely off of what I think it is, then I guess I'm not red pill.
Well, here's what I think guys ought to do. Would you like me to give you some prescriptions? Is that what we're trying for here?
No, I want to know your opinion of a high value man. What is it?
So you want you? You want me? The guy's built a whole career telling guys like what to do. Is that what you want? Oh, I see. You want to give me some prescriptions, do you? You want to give me some prescriptions? Oh, this guy's a joke. This is crazy. Like, with Fresh and Fit, they just believe silly things. But this guy's, like, furious. And I don't know about what. I mean, I do know about what they've been insulting him. But it's like... It's like very difficult to even understand what he's talking about.
I think a high value man is whatever is contextually makes that guy a high value guy in whatever culture that he has.
See, initially, the guy came in and he was like, oh, that's maybe just a throwaway tweet. But now he is also tying himself in not trying to defend it. Like... Just stick with your first. That's our throwaway tweets late night. I didn't mean any of it. You should have just stuck with that.
Happens to be, and if that's money, that's money. Right now, that's what we tend to focus on right now. But if I'm going to say that,
high value man is a guy that has the things that makes him a high value man.
All right,
That's
the things that make you a high value man. Okay, what is that? You know, we're never going to define it.
Just kind of because here's the thing: when I read the tweet, I interpreted it right with a higher step. Like he's listed things that if you follow these things, right, and you actually follow them, you're probably not going to become a fuck up, right? And to be a high value guy, I would say it's a couple combination of things. It's obviously having your money on point, having social proof and status, having respect from your peers, having a network of other high value men, right? Which I
Well, he's adding all this other stuff though. The tweet was just like go to the gym, like don't get married, don't have kids, have a vasectomy at 20. Like I think basically we should surely you should just conclude that this guy ridiculous and not to, they're all tying themselves in knots to defend this one tweet. No, you just don't understand what he's really saying. Is this deep, meaningful.
agree with Kevin Samuels on that. Being fit to a degree. If you have all these things in place, you'll be considered a high value man by most people in most societies, right? If you have these things in place. Now, with that said, to get there, right, you obviously have to focus and get your shit together and make sure that you focus on getting there. What he's saying is all these, the list of things that he mentioned, if you follow them, it's going to mitigate your risk of becoming a fuck up and not getting to that point as quickly as possible. And I think that's so important, is that this tweet kind of gets taken out of context. He's saying the quickest way to become a high value man, avoid and do these things because you're limiting distractions. And he's using Brendan Carter as an example where he's in a monogamous relationship with a girl. He outsourced a lot of his things. Why? So he's able to focus on making more money. He's getting rid of obstacles. And I think that tweet demonstrates that.
Yes.
So you're getting rid of obstacles so you can become a high value man in the quickest possible way. Now, I know the most controversial one is the vasectomy. Though there's other ways to get the same, I guess, effect from vasectomy. Let's say you use a condom. Let's say you pull out, whatever it may be. He's saying, okay, if you get the vasectomy, then we know for a fact you're not going to have children.
Yeah.
It's really no different than having a condom or pulling out, whatever it may be. The point is to not get a girl pregnant. How you want to get there is up to you, whether it's through vasectomy, using condoms, whatever. But he's making it retard proof. Hey, vasectomy, because I know even if you are the dumbest guy ever, you can't fuck this up.
I don't think a retarded guy could be a high.
Yeah, but then you're never going to have kids. Like, it is a fuck up. If you want to have kids and you have a vasectomy at 20, that's a fuck up. Because when you're 35 and you decide you want to have it reversed, it's not going to work. Like, that's the fuck up. That's the, like, it is a... So, yeah, we're making it idiot proof. So if you want to have a family and stuff, but you want to delay having a family, just get a vasectomy and wait 15 years till it's got like a 3% chance of being fertile after it's reversed.
Value guy.
No, what I said retarded means too. But what I'm saying is that the point I'm trying to make is this list is the foolproof way. If everything is followed for you to get your status up as quickly as possible in your 20s.
That's not what the list is though. Because what you just said was advice, and he said it's clearly not advice. So you're interpreting it.
He said he's joking and he's
yeah,
trying to
just
provoke
joking. Like half
people.
it was just for jokes.
But I'm telling you, I started out telling you guys how I interpreted that.
Yeah.
Right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So that people can interpret it how they want.
Exactly.
To create discussion.
And
That's the point.
it's funny.
That's what he's saying.
He asked a question earlier. So you asked him a question, what is high value? You answered it. It's whatever you determine that to be.
No, that's bullshit. None of you guys believe that.
I
If
do,
some guy
because-
comes on this show, he weighs 350 pounds, and he says, I'm Diamond 1 in League of Legends. That's what I want to do with my life. Would you go, well, that's what you really want. You're high value. You wouldn't say that.
No, but once again, it starts in the mind. You're going to say, for example, oh, that's not true, which I agree, it's not true. But ultimately, you as a man decide what's high value for you.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Value is probably something that's determined by society. High value means that you have a worth to other people. You're just talking about being comfortable, having high self-esteem.
I agree, but the tweet...
You don't say you agree, man. I just said the total opposite thing
No,
you just said.
I agree. And a point where, for example, people determine you as high value. However, the tweet saying high value could mean, in your sense, whatever that means to you.
No, it doesn't.
What?
That's what he's saying.
No, he's not. He doesn't know because he doesn't have a good definition. Because he doesn't. If he says anything, he's going to
You
get
sound
pinned
like the
down on
girls who believe they're a 10 because they
Yeah.
describe themselves as a 10 in the mirror.
it. If you brought in
That's the
some
same.
loser,
You're missing the point.
And he's like, I'm high value because I'm a manager at my McDonald's. You probably wouldn't agree that he's high value.
Is that when he says high value, you're going to determine that as a man. What does that mean for you? Success is a part of it, yes, but their success could be owning a farm or having a business. It doesn't matter. He's saying to get to that point, you need focus. Ultimately, that's what he's saying. Just be focused.
I mean, look, we make fun of the girls all the time for saying that they're 10 out of 10s all the time because they say it in their head, I believe I'm a 10 out of 10. No, that's ridiculous because society determines how attractive you are. Society determines how valuable you are. You can't apply that line. You can't make fun of the girl, the ugly fat whale who thinks she's a 10 girl boss queen, and then also say a high value man can believe it in his head.
Well, I gave you guys a 10.
You have a good definition. You talked about some shit, being relatively fit, having a network of people that are very social. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
I do, because here's the thing. For me, I will define it because that will allow you guys to see where I'm coming from when I'm interpreting.
Yeah, we know where you're coming from, but we have the tweet over here. He doesn't know where he's coming from. He seems a little lost right now, so we're trying to figure out, what exactly he means. But
I think again, the tweet. I think that's the important part of the tweet is that it allows people to interpret it how they want, which is why we're talking about it right now. The tweet.
Yeah, but why would you? If I'm giving advice to people, I don't want them to interpret it how they want. Otherwise, what the fuck's the point of my message? If
I'm not giving advice to people. That's the whole point of this. Do you want? It's impossible to put anything out there without people interpreting it as follow these fucking steps. Here's your 12 rules for life, and you're going to live a happy
high value man. That's literally what your tweet was. Do these things. High value. What is the wording of the tweet? Go back to the tweet itself.
So in that wording of the tweet, what's the last part of that? What's the last one? Resist easing up on your focus. Whatever's like. Do you want me to insert what you ought to be doing? You ought to be coding. Is that what I should say? You ought to be becoming a professional athlete. I don't know what your fucking strengths are.
You can simplify, say work hard.
Again, so here's the thing. If I say, you know what, you ought to be an NBA player, and it doesn't matter if that you're 5'9", fucking stay on your focus, and you're going to be the best NBA player you can possibly be.
That'd be terrible advice.
That'd be absolutely terrible advice because this is a fucking advice. That's why. Okay, this is a list that is meant to get so you get an idea of what the fuck it is that you're going to do so that you can become that high value man. Protect yourself. Don't get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy. Again, this is over the top shit. Anybody who knows anything about my material, when I throw this out there, they know this is over the top shit.
What else on that
list? Fucking fire for douche nozzles like
Ben Shapiro. I don't want to be a douche nozzle, but what else?
Yeah, besides number 3, what else here is over the top?
Besides vasectomy.
I'll live consistently. Okay. Well, what if some people say, well, that's vanity, right?
There's no way you agree with that. Saying live consistently.
Hold on. For Rollo, it might be. Okay. To be fair. Okay.
Guys, see, here's the thing.
But you're missing. Are you not hearing anything he's saying? Like, do you blindly agree with
this guy? Rollo guy, look how angry he is. Look at this uncle. He's just like fuming. He's like fuming because these guys made him look silly. You didn't even make him look that silly. If he hadn't have called in, no one would have even really like people would have mainly just been like covering Fresh and Fit, what Fresh and Fit said. Now we've seen how silly this guy is. Now we've seen the nonsense this guy is.
Nothing he's saying is making any sense, bro.
It's not making any sense to you because you don't understand what the concept of the tweet. That's
you can't even thoroughly
understand what let me hold up here. Did you understand what I was saying about Brandon Carter?
Yeah, he doesn't do his laundry.
No, but he's taken everything to this extreme level. Like to a lot of guys, Brandon Carter. Okay, would you agree with me that Brandon Carter is a high value guy?
Sure.
Okay, you know who wouldn't? Ben Shapiro. You know who wouldn't? A lot of other people because they think that they're living out their own high value ideal. Do you understand that?
Context.
Like the 350-pound esports player is living out his ideal of a high value man.
Yeah, whether or not that's working for him is irrelevant to the fucking tweet. When I say, okay, when I'm talking about Brandon Carter, you say you understand that. He's taking it to like this extreme level.
How is Ben Shapiro not a high value guy?
Like stay on top. Like for Brandon Carter, what do you think Brandon Carter's definition of a high value man is?
Probably the same as mine.
Which is?
Determined by society. If you have respect from your community, then you are a high value person. If people respect you.
So being pro-social and having people like you and depending on
you don't agree with him because Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro's definitely a high value man.
Okay, but so let's just say let's say
he does. He said so.
You don't think Ben Shapiro's a high value man?
Let's take do I think he is? I don't think he's a high value man.
But what is his definition? He owns his own business. He's like one of the most successful alt media platforms in the world. He's married, fucking young, sweet.
Right. You know who else is not a high value guy? Elon Musk. Let's see. Who else? Jeff Bezos. All you got to do is just go. All you have to do is look at the decisions they made in their personal lives. Okay. How are we going to define that? If I'm going to define that,
you haven't. You're the only one here who hasn't defined it.
Because I'm not the one defining it for fucking Jeff Bezos. I'm not the one defining it for fucking what's his face? Ben Shapiro.
Whale can think she's a 10 as long as that's how she defines beauty to herself.
Well, you guys. Well, hold on, wait, Sneako. You just defined Brandon Carter as a high value guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that fits your definition of a high value guy, but I will tell you right now that that would not fit the same definition that say Ben Shapiro would have for a high value guy because he doesn't have his babies on point, he doesn't have this on point, he's not going to church or synagogue.
Inadvertently, what this guy's doing is showing that the term high value man is stupid because value is subjective. It's something people subjectively apply to something, and what one person views as a high value guy isn't going to be another. So what's a high value guy to one woman isn't going to be a high value guy to another woman. This is just silly, right? This is the point. It's a silly concept. It doesn't work. He's kind of actually realized it without realizing it.
Every day, right? So to him, he's not necessarily a high value guy. So it's what his
synagogue has to do with high value. That's like
because that's the way that other people would define it.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's not value is not subjective. When we talk about value, we're usually talking about some sort of exchange in a market. No, value is usually what are people willing to do or give for a certain thing. It's not defined by this. If one man is on an island with no value.
No, this one over here is the idea of being high value.
No, there is no idea of being high value. And if it was anybody else on the show, you guys would be roasting the fuck out of them for saying that's your idea of being high value. You would be roasted. If any of the girls come here, because you do this to girls all the time, she goes, right, like, I think I'm a 10. It's like, why? Because I'm so special and blah, blah, blah.
I say you're not special.
I just gave you Brandon Carter as an example. I just gave you Brandon Carter. is. We can use any single example you want. You could be the 500-pound guy who just does esports, or it can be like Brandon Carter or the top G. Any one of those guys. The thing still applies.
All right, look.
Are you better off? Are you better off without the obstructions? Are you better off without the back?
Everyone here has kind of a different thing. Like me, I've defined it. This is what I think makes you high value. You might have a different take on it. You might have a different take on it. I've defined it, and then I took my interpretation off what you said. If you want to get these things, and it makes sense to me, those things that you listed. But I'm seeing here that everyone here kind of has a different interpretation.
Wait, that's not true. All four of us probably roughly agree on what makes you high value.
No, we don't.
The three of us probably
Ben
do.
Shapiro said you said high value. I don't think
Having like some amount of like physical fitness, we all agree that that's decently valuable, correct?
on some level, yeah.
Okay. Having some amount of like social status, so you've got the attention of a lot of people and you're influential. We all agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having some amount of financial success, right? You have freedom to take care of your family, retire if you want to, even at an early age. We all agree with that, right?
Okay.
And having some level of success with your family and friends, right? We all roughly agree on that, right?
Okay.
If you have those four things in check, you're probably a high value man.
No, it's more than that. See, here's what he's saying. I can add more to it because for me, in my head, what high value is way more than that. To you, that might be important, but to me, it's not. That's not everything.
What's a key component missing from what I said?
Is a high value guy the guy that marries somebody from a foreign country and brings her over here so she can get citizenship? Because that's your family dynamic. My family dynamic is different than that. Does that make me high value or low value?
Exactly. It's going to depend on the person.
If I'm in a heterosexual marriage for 27 years and not in a polycule or some shit, like it's like some people will say you're high value because you do that. People will say, Rolla, you can't be red pill because you're married. You can't be married because you're red pill. Okay, and suddenly I'm blue pill because I am actually in a relationship where it's like clothes on her end, clothes on on her end, and clothes on my end. But if I go and I talk to the top G or I talk to somebody who's like in an open relationship, is that guy high value because of that? I'm not. This is not a judgment call. I'm just saying that the definition is going to be different, even if you have all those things. Even each one of those things that you just mentioned is still it's still subject to the context. I agree with what you said, Destiny. What I'm saying is that from within each one of those attributes, people are going to have something wildly different. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to use that for fucking blog fodder and topics to go and do quick hit videos on because they just want click through rate for something like that.
What would we say about women? If we say what is a high value woman?
You tell me, man. It's like again, this is the definition.
Bro, this is like your wheelhouse. This is your chance to steamroll.
I don't think you understand what fucking wheelhouse is. Quite honestly, I don't think you do.
Shit, isn't that what you do?
Your name is the rational male.
Yeah, a high value woman is.
I don't talk about high value women, dude. In fact, if anything, I say there's no such thing as a quality woman because it's an ideal that guys have in their heads.
There's no such thing as a quality woman.
No such thing as a quality woman because guys have this. The quality woman is an ideal, but we can talk about that when I get there. But the thing is this: is like when you're building a relationship or when you have this idea in your head. You want to know why guys get into so much fucking trouble in their marriages? It's because of that ideal. Because every guy who ever got married thought that she was the best fucking thing in the world. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got married to her. And then until he gets across the divorce table from her, now she's a fucking evil monster.
That's woman ever. You genuinely don't think that there's quality women in the world?
I think that there are women who have different attributes than others that match very well with guys. Sure, there are good clicks, of course. But the thing is like the idea of the quality woman is an ideal that guys have that gets them into a lot of trouble. That's why they're in love with the ideal, not the actual person. That's why
high value men, but there aren't high value women.
I'm not saying that I said there aren't high value men and there aren't high value women. Okay, it just depends on who we're talking about.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about, bro.
In the context.
I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
I get what you're saying. But
I feel like I need to do mushrooms before I come on the show. That's what it feels like, the kind of conversation we're having right now.
No, you know what it is, Destiny, is you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's why.
On any of this, and I'm surprised because you write about this all the time. You wrote a whole book about it. People, they really respect it. And I have no idea.
You guys might be confused because I'm the one that says there's no such thing as a high value woman. A woman gets her value directly from a man that she gets in a relationship with. Because all women have value, but not all men have value.
All women don't have the same value.
Well,
don't even think about it. That's not true. If I give you a woman with 100 bodies and a woman with 0 bodies, if I give you one that's 500 pounds, if I give you one with 5 kids, so
here's
yeah.
my thing. Okay, here's my thing because I've said this before.
I know men must be calm and women are. I know you're about to do this.
No,
I'm saying there are some women that are better than others.
I was going to say, of course, but all women have value to some level, but not all men have value because men have to build their shit up. So what I'm saying is that a high value woman gets her value from being with a high value man.
I don't even think that's true. All men have value.
The metric of success for a female is being able to get the best man that they can get.
And men can build and do things. In places like China, where you're limited to them and children, what do? They opt for boys because they can go out and work and fucking get jobs and shit and do things around the fucking house or whatever. Right?
Yeah, the fucking 1980s. The one child policy hasn't been around since the mid 90s, dude.
Sure, when it was grossly favoring the birth of boys because you could do more with boys than you could with women. Just the idea, like
that was a perception until now they're facing the consequences of that.
Sure, well, so is Japan. That's a super homogenous.
That's one situation. Okay, you're using China, but let's be honest here. Why does it say women and children off the boat first, not men? Women have always had it's a chivalry thing, but why is that? Because if you have 100 women and one guy, you can still continue society. But if you have 100 men and one woman, we're fucked.
Women are vulnerable sex and men are the disposable sex. That's why
women have value inherently. So what I'm saying is this: since every woman has value, for a woman to be high value, she's got to be able to lock down a high value guy. There's a reason why women take a man's last name and not the other way around. Women, when they meet each other and hug, the first thing they ask typically is, "Oh, do you have a man? Do you have a relationship? Tell me about your kids, etc."
They take the last name. They do it because you were supposed to be leaving your father's household and going into your husband's household. Like historically, that was why. You were part of your father's family and household, and then now you've become part of your husband's family and household. Right? That was why it was done. Why don't people read things? Why don't they look things up? Why don't you just look it up? Why don't you just check? Why don't you just think? You know what? I'm just reckoning it must be this. I'm just gonna start bloviating on the internet about my stupid ideas. Just check. Just check.
Two
Find
men meet,
out.
what do they do? Shake hands. What do you do for a living? Men are judged on creating value. Women are judged on creating children, typically. Now, are there some women out there that chase success and making money, whatever? Sure, but that is not the main goal of a female. The main goal of a female from a biological sense is to procreate. For a woman to procreate, she's got to be with a man. Typically, they want the best guy. For a man to procreate, he's got to create excess resources to be able to attract that woman. So what we bring to the table is different. And what I would argue...
I don't disagree with any of that, but there are high-value women, and they're probably high-value men.
I think a woman's only high value, she can lock down a high value guy. That's my take.
Okay, well, at least you have a definition.
That's my definition on it. Which, again, I see all of us here at the table have different opinions, which is great, but that's my take on it, like with a high value man, a high value
No, I mean, what you want me to say is a woman who has a low body count, who is, a girl from the Amish Dutch country in Pennsylvania who's never, known another man, doesn't have any social media. I mean, there's a lot of ways we can go with this, but again, those are ideals, okay?
Yeah, ideals are important because ideals are what we strive for. An ideal is the whole.
And those ideals are also what lead us astray, which is why this list is fucking useful. That's why.
Ideals lead you into a better life. That's the whole point of an ideal. It's the best version of yourself. You're never going to be the best version of yourself, but the path to being the best version of yourself.
Every guy who ever thought he found his fucking soulmate, who ended up on the opposite side of the fucking divorce table from her, had a fucking ideal about that woman.
Sure, and every man that dies happily surrounded by his family who had a long.
Oh, yes, I know the pastoral scene with everybody. Well, yeah, we're surrounded by his family. You know what? You know that like 90% of the population of the United States doesn't die like that. They actually die in assisted living, and nobody knows about it until the next morning.
Okay, as opposed to you who's screaming about dying in this motorbike accident. Okay, dude.
You said you want to
That is a fucking fantasy.
Let me hit these chats real fast.
We got another show coming up.
We got another show coming up. We're going to go through this real fast. All right, so we got Kid Blue RB goes, Rolo dodging and defining a high value man is like the LGBT dodging what a woman is. Feels like I'm watching Matt Walsh documentary right now. You're the grandmaster of RP. You out of all people should be able to define what a high value man is.
Wow, even these red pill guys are like hitting back.
Find high value male, we could define us as douche nozzles.
All right, let me.
That's pretty funny though.
Micro says, Myron, you're my guy, but you're giving Rolo an out. Let him stand on the chair he's standing on so he can continue hanging himself with his food.
I know you really want to defend him because
here's the thing.
I know you base a lot of the show around that book, but bro, he's making absolutely no sense.
Here's the thing. Everyone is interpreting it different. Obviously, I have my take on it. Rolo has his take.
He doesn't have a take, bro.
We all have different takes.
He doesn't have a take.
It's still a take.
It's still a take.
Okay.
Look at that fella. Oh, I'm start doing it. I don't know, maybe it's an Islamic thing as well. I just always think of like, I don't know, I listen to a lot of reggae, all the rest just to, you look at Capleton, there's a lot of videos where he's doing this. You can't say it, this kind of hand symbol, but you hold it down here. Like, why all of a sudden? People are funny, aren't they?
If this was some LGBT shit or some woman shit, we would be all laughing and roasting the fuck. Rightfully so.
Yes.
If a woman came out and you're like, what makes a woman high value? She's like, well, if she's in her moment and if she's girl bossing it up as hard as she can, that's a high value woman. Like we would be roasting.
That's the same argument he's making right
Not
now.
what I'm saying. It's not this. It's fucking apples and oranges. That's the problem with all this shit. Is like you don't even fucking understand the nature of the tweet. That's why.
Because I'm asking you a question, you can't answer it. Ask if it's advice. It's not. It's a joke. It's not.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's a high value. Let me give you a high value man. A high value man goes and fucks as many chicks as he possibly can, as many women as possible, and he fucking finds one little needle in the haystack, and he wipes up that girl because she happens to have a no body count. She's like 100% in love with him, and I can go and rattle off all these extremes, and you know who's going to disagree with me? Every fucking guy in fucking Daily Wire is going to disagree.
Say what you really think. Don't say it ironically. Say what you believe.
What I'm saying is what I believe here, okay? This is the whole thing. It's the point of the fucking tweet is that it's your fucking definition of what it is.
You keep saying Ben Shapiro. You said Ben Shapiro is not a high value man. So you must be comparing him to some standard in your head. You said Bezos is not a high value man. You said Elon Musk is not a high value man. So there's some standard in your head you're comparing these guys to that they're not matching up to. What is that standard?
Right. Well, let's all you would have to do is look at their personal lives so you would understand this. Again, do I have time to go and enumerate all that? No, I don't. But if you go and you look at what they're doing, like look, let's just use Elon Musk for a second.
Yeah, let's use Ben Shapiro. That was a good example. Ben Shapiro.
We can look at Ben Shapiro. How did he meet his wife? Do you know how he met his wife?
What did they
It was arranged, right?
Was it an arranged or family friends? I don't know.
No, basically what Ben Shapiro did was he wore this chick down over the course of God knows like 3 or 4 months, right? He would meet the definition of stalking and being a creeper if he wasn't Ben Shapiro, right? If he didn't have his background in
3 to 4 months. What does that mean?
Basically, he
wore her down is what he did. He's very proud of that fact too.
Okay, hold on real quick. You seem to have a problem with this. When somebody asks you what is X and you go, well, it's X, you're not really answering the question. You've done this like 3 times. When you say wore her down over 3 to 4 months, what does that mean? Did they date? Did he see her after school?
What that means is he was persistent. He just kept wearing her down over the course of time.
Bro, that's ridiculous, man.
I will send you the video. I will send you the video.
Okay. Jesus.
All right.
You guys should view your comments more often. It's cute.
okay.
Yeah, and you should send your OnlyFans.
See that guy's jaw movement when he said that? Look, watch him.
You guys should view your comments more often. It's cute.
Look, watch his jaw. Watch his jaw.
Okay.
And you should send your OnlyFans girls to come at me to debate me in your proxy next time.
I'm asking to debate you right now, and you can't even.
Except next time, please find a girl who actually puts lenses in her fucking glasses. A little weird.
You're so triggered, dude. Are you okay?
Not very rational.
I think
His 6 month will be the emotional male, I think.
Because I would consider Ben Shapiro a high value guy. I would.
Yeah, no, everybody would, obviously.
But
Wait, you disagree with the Grandmaster?
The Godfather. The great granddaddy.
Now you're just
You're trolling, man.
Would you, Myron? Would you agree with his outlook on women?
With Ben Shapiro's outlook on women?
Yeah. Ben Shapiro has literally come at you for exactly this. For everything that these guys are talking about, he's come at you for exactly the same thing.
Yeah, so
you guys did a full show on this.
No, for sure. I disagree with him on as far as like the female stuff. Like, oh yeah, that like having sexual experience is like bad for you, like he was trying to say. But I think objectively speaking, from the things that I listen as far as I think makes the guy high value. He has all those things. Now he's limited on his knowledge of females for sure, right? Because I think he only got with one girl, and you know she comes from a certain type. She comes from a family, and a certain family. I don't want to say because we're on YouTube, but I think that set her up. Yeah, cha-ching. That set her up to be a girl that would be to his liking. But the point I'm trying to make is I think Ben Shapiro's a high value guy, but I don't agree with his stances on women.
Same thing with Steven Crowder right now. You guys were just talking about Crowder not too long ago. Like right up until he got this divorce and all this stuff started coming out and Candace Owens and all that shit.
Guys, but
everybody would have said he was a high value guy until now.
I think they're high value guys like Crowder and Ben Shapiro based on what they've accomplished in life. But, I don't agree with their standpoints on.
Rolo thinks that if he disagrees with them, then they can't.
You guys are supposed to, like, go back to fucking Twitch. Just go back to Twitch and start playing games again. You have no fucking point. There's no point for either one of you to be on this fucking show, quite honestly.
Dumbledore has spoken.
Because here's the thing: the traditional conservative beliefs don't necessarily work in today's sexual marketplace when it comes to dealing with women.
No, we agree, but that's the reason he thinks Ben Shapiro's not high value because he disagreed with you on relationships.
No, what I'm saying is that well, yes, I would actually agree with that simply because does Ben Shapiro?
No, the traditional values do work if you're going after traditional women, right? Like again, like I've met religious women, they exist, or like traditional women, right? It's just like when you're out banging a different woman every night, 50 women, this and that. Yeah, those traditional women aren't going to give you the time of day. So you're trying to build a traditional relationship with what? With like a modern woman who doesn't want to live traditionally? Like, you can't find a traditional person if that's your cup of tea. Personally, like, you know, I was raised religious and I've moved as far away from that as I could. But the, you know, if that's how you want to live, like, but.
Does Ben Shapiro?
It's so weird, though. It's because they want to live this lifestyle. The only person who's going to be cool with that is going to be not traditional. So she's going to then, right. So in order to defend this lifestyle, like, well, I have to try and build this traditional relationship with a woman who probably isn't traditional herself. It barely makes any sense to me. I'm trying to make sense of it. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm
saying, like, what his disagreement with you, does that then, at least in some way, diminish him as a high value man?
No, we can disagree. I disagree with that.
I'm asking Myron. I mean, because it's Myron who says, well, he's a high value guy, but like,
he disagrees with the traditional relationships.
If you're like money, muscles, and game, okay. In this case, it's the female aspect of what makes a high value guy, right? If he disagrees with what he's not disagreeing with me, he's disagreeing with Myron.
He just said that he's high value.
He said he's high value, but except for that one part where he's saying, you know what, I disagree with his outlook when it comes to like women and how best to go about like forming relationships or whatever, the sex, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think he's a high value guy, but I disagree with his notion on how to deal with women.
Well, he's not fucking 50. He's not fucking 50 guy or 50 women.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not. He's against that, which I think is dated. You know what I mean? Again, like I said before, I think a guy could be traditionally conservative, but I'd not agree. I don't necessarily have to agree with someone's viewpoints on how they deal with females for me to see them as high value, because I think he accomplishes all the things that I mentioned on my list of what I think makes a guy high value.
And so what you're doing is you're saying that high value is these accomplishments, correct?
Yeah, I'm interpreting it. Yeah, that's how I interpret it. Which
everyone
here at the panel has a different.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Respect it, accomplish.
Which is
we don't really have a different opinion.
I feel like our definitions are pretty aligned at the table.
Yeah, with us three, yeah. But I mean, again, we're looking at things differently in general.
Okay.
Because you guys don't agree. I agree with his tweet if you want to become high value in the quickest amount of time.
But you can't agree with it if he doesn't even define it. You can't agree with him if you don't even know what his definition is.
Does he agree with it? Defined by the way he defines it.
No, but he did though. He chose what high value means to him. You're missing the point.
Thank you. Fresh is the voice of reason.
That's one over your head because you guys are thinking about one.
The voice of reason because you're giving this guy out. This guy's so desperate to just not look stupid. You can see how he's angry. See, that's right. Yeah, the voice of reason. The voice of reason speaking. Listen to him. Listen to him because he's pleased. He's agreeing with me. He's trying to give me some kind of out from some silly tweet that I tied myself in knots defending because I couldn't stick with my initial claim that this is not advice. It was a throwaway, silly comment, whatever. You know, couldn't stick to that. All of them, fresh and fit. This fella tying themselves in knots. Even Sneako now has started to see through the red pill because of how ridiculous this is. It's madness.
Yeah, but that's okay. I think we come to the bottom of this.
It's common sense.
Well, Myron agrees with the tweet that I'm talking about according to what his definition of a high value guy is, correct?
Yeah, he knows his definition.
Yeah,
exactly.
High value men are just like people that have high value, and I'm in. I agree. I got it.
All right, I'll hit these other ones. We got here Viking Paradigm, ignoring the context, talking over, interrupting ad hominems, goalpost shifting, claiming it's advice when it's not. It's easy to see who's trying to control their viewers and who's not, and easy to see who lost the debate.
Hey, you're a douche nozzle. That's a douche nozzle thing to say.
Shout out to Viking, man.
That's not very rational of you.
Life, love, value. Women aren't so simple. Leave these RP dudes alone in their zone to stew. Responsibility, intelligence, and discipline above all, and are talismans of happiness for most people. Enjoy life, grind, and don't glorify.
Hey, I agree.
Okay?
100%.
And then what else we got here? We got Mike Rashid. I hope y'all don't let Rolo's weird immigration comment fly by.
Immigration comment.
Immigration?
I wish I got an invite for discussion.
I wish I got an invite for discussion.
He should come to the round table next week.
He's not Trump.
What am I talking about?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. What else? Anything else?
Up to you guys. Question mark.
That's it.
Oh, John.
100%.
100%. If I wanted to learn how to become a successful man, I'd go to Rolo before going to Sneako or Destiny. Two grown-ass men who argue like teenage
All
boys.
right, so 55-year-old guy calling us douche nozzles to someone who's like 3 times younger, that's a mature way to argue?
Damn.
If that's your idea, then okay.
Wow. Shots fired.
That's just what happened on the show.
This guy, look at him seething. He's
This is
furious.
a great debate.
Do you have anything to say? Like, you called in.
Wait,
Where can they find y'all?
I mean, that would like
making fun of his
Yeah, go
tweet.
back to Twitch. That's some advice for you. That's some real advice for you guys. You guys have no business fucking being in any of this shit right here. You're not ready to have a fucking adult conversation. Everything.
I've seen you chatting more than any other name in the chats. I re-chat like whenever I stream, which is when I'm online, and you're in there more than me.
True.
So calling us Twitch, well, actually, I'm banned on there. I'm on Rumble. But yeah, if you want to pull the online card, then maybe get off the internet a little bit and chatting all day. Douche nozzle.
It's a lot harder when it's not just like 22-year-old women being ganged up on a podcast, huh? I'm sorry, Rilla.
No, I'll be happy to fucking debate you, dude. On any topic you want.
We are right now.
We just did.
No, you're talking about this one fucking tweet is what you're talking about.
Well, we were talking to the godfather of Red Pill trying
Yeah,
to...
and speaking of fucking tweets, or speaking of fucking super chats, was that not you on whatever podcast the other night?
Yeah, I like to support people that go on to have a podcast.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for at least admitting it.
Those are the only 2 super chats I've sent in my life. If I'm watching content, I want to know if it's Red Pill or not. I just
It seems like you're watching a lot more than you think you are.
program I've ever been on. It's insane. You should get a tax credit for like watching me.
Oh, do you have anything to say? Why are you staring like that, man? Okay. I thought you'd have a rap.
No, you guys. Here's the thing. You guys. First of all, I've thrown out this.
Player in his car after the show.
First of all, this challenge. If you guys want to come to Vegas, come to Vegas. We'll sit across the table from each other.
No, we're gonna build up your fucking dog shit podcast. What are you talking about? Come to Miami.
I am coming to Miami
Next week.
Oh, cool.
He'll be here next week.
You guys are so mean, man.
Yeah,
Look at-
Bro, I didn't say. What do you mean we're mean? He called us douche nozzles. Oh, it's fine. He's the grand wizard of Red Pill, so I can't go say anything about that. But I'm mean now because I'm calling him irrational for not having any arguments at all. Bro, I know you want to defend him because the book is here on the table, but like, bro, that made no sense.
You guys have not read the book. You guys don't know what the fuck
I'm
you're
not reading
reading
the
about.
book, bro. You can't even define what high value man is. Why would I read a book from a guy who can't have a clear definition?
I know you read the
I'm
book.
not even going to go there. I'm fucking for the last half hour. I've been trying to explain to you this shit to you. You guys have no business being in this fucking sphere to begin with. First of all.
Okay,
Second of all,
keep it forever until you're 65.
second of all, and the reason why is because you devolve into. You want to know why? Like when we talk, nobody debates anymore. Cause you know why? Because it devolves into this middle school bullshit that both of you are. But you guys are perfect. Yes, you guys should marry each other.
You can't call this childish when you were the one who started insulting. I just asked you a question and then you said douche nozzle. Now you're gonna go play the maturity card.
Yeah. Now I'm going to play the maturity card.
That was a middle school argument. All right. I mean, this is not going anywhere.
This was a great debate.
I like
Debation,
that.
debation.
I mean, it's very obvious that everyone here has different takes, which is great. I think that's good.
I'm not sure what his take is still.
Yeah,
But
But that's cool. It's different than ours. We know that.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Is there anything else, Chris? Or
Let's see. Nope, we're good.
all right,
All
bro, do
Smash
you
that
have
like
anything
button.
that you want to say before we?
I was gonna say I'll be there next week.
All right, cool. I think we'll have him on the 15th.
That's the boxing match. Just kidding.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, bro.
Thanks, Rolo.
Take it easy, man. Okay, so let's see here. We're caught up, Chris, on your end.
bro, that's a goofy Godfather, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I mean, like that shit was goofy.
Careful.
You I know you really want to defend him, and mine right now, I know you're probably like,
No, it's not that. We all have different takes on it, which is fine.
Okay, but he did get triggered immediately. For someone who called himself the rational man, that was no rational arguments were made. He got emotional. He got triggered immediately. He started cursing. That was not like an example of good masculinity.
What do you do?
I tried to engage and I asked him specific questions.
I mean,
You also made
When did I insult him?
insults multiple times.
Yeah, but it was after he started. If he's going to start, of course you're going to follow up, right?
Well, you attacked him the prior show. So just to be fair,
Did I?
I'm pretty sure.
you did.
What'd I say?
Say that his comments were like asinine. They didn't make sense. Why
That's not
would,
insulting. That's going at his advice. I'm talking about his argument.
and then you said the
Yeah,
man that made the
maybe-
comments is.
Fresh and Fit is so desperate to defend this guy, but come on, man. Come on. I thought we're nearly done. There's a limit to how much Red Pill.
I'm just saying, look, ultimately we both did the same thing.
Like, I'll get with
That's
the
not true.
Talking shit about some of these arguments is a lot less serious.
Then
Like,
calling you a douche
nozzle.
nozzle. I didn't call it a douche
Come
nozzle.
on, you got me. It was kind of funny.
Douche nozzle.
Okay.
I personally wouldn't tolerate that type of disrespect, but you know.
All
Where can
right.
I find y'all?
Rumble.com/Sneako. You already know.
YouTube.com, Instagram.com/Destiny.
And y'all gonna stick around for that, though, right?
Of course.
Okay,
Let's go.
So yeah, I think the girls are here. So we're gonna be back here with some girls, guys, have a discussion. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go check out Rolo on YouTube as well. I think it was a good discussion. I think everybody had different takes on it. I think it was good. We agreed on some things, disagreed on some other things. I think that's the importance of bringing people in to have different viewpoints. And
And as men, we can agree to disagree and still be friends after.
True.
On some level.
yeah, I think it's important to be able to have these tough discussions.
I would love to listen to Slayer and accelerate in my car.
This guy, bro.
I don't like a family.
All right, guys.
All right,
Peace.
we'll catch you guys.
So, that was long. That was a long Red Pill like kind of video, but yeah, there was a lot of nonsense talked. I feel like the last guy came in and almost like made Fresh and Fit look sensible, although they were just desperate to defend him. When I kind of feel like it's like. And he was so angry. I just imagine seeing two dudes like on a podcast and getting so furious that you call in and you just sit there seething. Yeah, well, you know what the thing is about you two? It's just like, come on. Everybody fresh and fit, everyone's hanging themselves in knots to defend this stupid tweet. Defend the idea. Well, I'm saying, like, for some guys might want a vasectomy, but the real meaning of the tweet is this, that. Oh, God. It was just. Why? Why the guy's tweet's not serious? Like this whole concept of being high value. Like, the ironic thing is, the knots they were tying themselves in trying to describe these things, like, actually make more sense. But, you know, like actually in some ways made more sense. Like when they were like, yeah, there is no high value man, it's subjective. Yeah, I agree. I agree, it's kind of subjective. One person values one thing, another values another. But these guys are going around talking about being a high value man. Well, okay, well, what does that mean? You know, at least Byron had a definition. Oh dear. I wonder, should we do anything else, or I might call it a night? I wonder what else is going on. Let's see. I was going to. Let's. Yeah, I think maybe we're done. That was quite long. That was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed reviewing that. But unless there's any memes on Twitter, let's have a little look at some Twitter memes. Go on then. Why not? See what's going on. Let's see if there's any memes. Yeah, now it's just me scrolling through Twitter. I think we could leave it now. Let's go into For You section. My For You section on Twitter, right? Like, there's people I follow, like Synth and people like this, but it's just become a haven of far-right nutters, generally. I realise I've just scrolled through a load of left-wing people. Oh, no. Let's try and find some. That's great. Oh, I'm going to be debating this guy, incidentally. This guy, right, I'm going to be debating this guy I need to sort it out with him. Going to be debating evolution versus creationism. Apparently he's creationist, and he said, and I think we're going to try and debate, is creationism rational? Is it irrational to be a creationist? Which obviously it is. It's effing mental. Like, it's just really silly. It's one thing to believe in God. I don't believe in God, but it's one thing if you do, that's fine. I think we should start getting to going, no, the Bible's literally true, all of it, and science, it's all wrong. God's put the fossils there to test us. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be his argument, but you know, you strayed into some pretty crazy territory. It's like, he looks like a child molester, so he's posted a picture of him. I think he was making a Michael Jackson joke because he's just with the hair and shit. Not laughing at Jordan Neely being killed. It's obviously fucked. It looks like the guy did excessive force. Crazy, the homelessness problem in America. Like, that they don't. Oh Christ! I didn't put the bloody Twitter on the screen. Oh, that's a bugger. We were looking at this, by the way. We were looking at this. I didn't realise that. I was still in the. I was still in the camera view there. I've got to stop doing that. I think we might have run out of funny memes. Okay. Now we're going to scroll through and see boobs or something. Okay, yeah, I think we're done. I think that's it. I think it's just got boring now. Let's go.